Hey everyone, Slayer here to introduce Nasty and Friends from BDC Studios, a podcast where two friends who met in the Army Reserves get together and talk about shit. One's a firefighter and the other has a funny laugh. So sit back, get rid of your kids, and hold on to your because it's about to get nasty, friends.
Welcome to Nasty and Friends with Pagnasty and Spicy Motherfucking Brown.
Guess who's back in the motherfucking house with a fat dick for your motherfucking mouth? Welcome to Nasty and Friends. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Spicy Brown. I'm here with my main man, Pagnasty.
Dude, it's fucking great to be back in BDC Studios, episode 21.
Absolutely. Episode 21. We're in BDC Studios. The recording light is lit. Real quick, what'd you think about the intro?
Oh, I loved it, man. You told me you had a solid intro, so...
I didn't come too hard, did I? We can edit that shit out.
No, we don't edit anything out.
People are like, Jesus, these guys are aggressive. Talking about putting dicks right off the bat, dicks in mouths. Turn that shit off, kid. Like the kids are listening. They're like, turn that, Johnny, turn that off. Dicks in mouths? Serious?
They already know. I mean, if
know.
they're 21 episodes in, plus 3 prison calls, plus a special Memorial Day animal fact, they know.
Shit.
They know.
Motherfuckers know. If you don't know, get to know. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's been a while. Like you said, we've had some prison calls. But we haven't been face-to-face in BDC Studios since August 13th, 14th weekend.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time. We got a lot of catching up to do.
Too
man.
long. Too long.
Way too long.
Too long. It's awesome, dude. It's hopefully the sounds better.
Yeah.
We did do a test, of course. I mean, it should sound better than the
Yeah.
phone. It's just good. Like I said before, just staring into your eyes, holding hands. Back again. So why don't you let them know what's going on in the background on YouTube as always.
All right, so we got YouTube on in the background as always, and what we're watching is On the Rooftops, and it's about these guys, these Russian fucks.
Now, On the Rooftops, that's the group name, right?
That's the name of the
and that's
group.
the channel as well?
That's the channel.
YouTube channel?
That's their YouTube channel. I can't remember their names. There's some Russian fucks, but they climb buildings. They climb cranes. They got GoPros on. They just do some crazy shit. So I started watching them a while back. I also watched them. I watched James Kingston, who's a British guy, and then Mustang Most Wanted, who might be one of the crazier motherfuckers that does it. He's Russian. They do a lot of their climbing in Ukraine, Dubai. They climb these cranes. They break into places. James Kingston was on Joe Rogan's podcast a while back. He's climbed the Eiffel Tower. And
yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So it's like what happens like with the cranes is they're like either building up that building or building other buildings, like shit around it. So you have the whole entire building and the crane's on top. So they'll like sneak through and then get on top of the crane and then climb to the top of the crane. No safety harnesses, nothing. Yeah. Just wet dicks and dreams, I guess.
Wet dicks and dreams, indeed.
But it makes my fucking butt shakes just watching it. Like I get nervous. It's crazy.
Yeah, the best is when like my finger is close to your butt and then I can feel it like trembling.
Quivering.
If it's in there. Yeah, no, my hands and palms get sweaty. My feet get sweaty. The one we watched earlier, these guys were in Shanghai and they climbed a 650-meter tower, which is, I don't do math, but that's probably somewhere around 1,400 feet, I think.
Right.
It's high as fuck. But they used elevators, stairs, climbed to the top of this building in Shanghai, and then there was this crane going off the side of the highest building, one of the highest buildings in Shanghai, and they just climbed that. Just hands and feet.
Oh my god, I can't. It's just like, and I've seen some of the stuff before, but I had never heard of On the Rooftops. And so you were showing me their specific videos. I heard of James Kingston obviously from before Joe Rogan podcast then. Right. And what I like now is they have droids or drones. Sorry. This isn't sponsored. Drones that they take out there and fly and shit, get some bomb ass views, and the editing is really good as well, which is what I like about it.
They got music, they got the camera work is great, editing's great. And like James Kingston, they do parkour shit, and some of that shit you watch, you're just like, Jesus. They're on like the ledges of buildings, like they'll go off of them, hang from them, hang with two hands off of a ledge or a crane, and then they'll go one-handed, and they're just hanging thousands of feet below them, you know what I mean? But they're just
they're one sneeze away from immediate death. Well, however long it takes to fall, I guess.
Yeah, at that height, it might take a while, but these guys are crazy. It's fun to watch. And then earlier, you introduced me to the fucking pool jumper guy.
Yeah, so anybody who watches Tosh.0, that's where I saw it, actually. So it was on this last week, and they were just showing it. And his YouTube channel is 8 Booth on On YouTube, yeah, sorry. And so what he does is he doesn't go as high, but he gets on top of buildings in like apartment buildings and shit, and then he'll jump off and into the pool, which, I mean, I don't know which out of these people who has more balls, because I don't know. I think if I was going to do it, I'd maybe just try to climb, because I don't know if I could get myself to jump.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I have more, like a better time, like with my grip than like, because if you hesitate on jumping and you jump short or something, I mean, I know one step here, you slip, you're done. But I just feel that maybe that would be a little bit better. They still suck, and I would not do any of them. And we were talking earlier, even with a safety harness, I still wouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
That'd be scary as fuck, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So so that's what's playing on the background, and it's awesome, man. You watch it, and even if you're scared of heights, still watch it. It'll make you freak for sure.
Yeah, and like I was saying, James Kingston, the guy from England, he does parkour, so it's not all of his shit is climbing. He does a bunch of parkour shit, but yeah, he jumps. Like, you know, you got those buildings that are close together. They might be on like a 40-story building, and he's jumping like 10-foot gaps in between the building. Yeah. And, you know, he said in interviews, like, yeah, you can't hesitate. You hesitate, you're falling down 40 stories. You just have to be confident. But he said he started off just doing parkour, like learning how to jump long distances, and then
because there's certain ways to land and roll it out to take away the impact and shit like that. So I mean, there are they don't go right to that. I would hope not. Anyway.
But it's fun to watch. I get nervous as fuck just fucking watching them. Man, these dudes are fucking crazy. It's crazy shit. But that's what we got going on in the background. There's a lot of topics I want to get into for sure. The biggest thing that I can't wait to hear about is your motherfucking NASCAR adventure.
Dude, it was so much fun. Now I know we said on the prison call that we did start off with it. I was gonna live tweet it. I did live tweet. It was weak. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was weak, and the reason why is, I mean, I had like my best friends of all time were here, or they came down to Kansas City because that's where the race was at the Kansas Speedway, and they showed up Friday, and we got lit. I got lit for sure. And I just went. I'm known for that. I'll go hard in the paint the first day, and and I wasn't like, because the race wasn't until Sunday, and I did have Monday off as well. But it was fucking phenomenal. Like we went to the track on Saturday, and just like walked around the vendors, and then, you know, you get a lot of free shit. You put in your email address and whatnot. So like that was fun. They had other races, and we also had track passes. So we got there early Sunday. Nice. You know, went down on the field, and if you guys follow us on social media for the Nasty and Friends. You know, I put Nasty and Friends podcast, check it out. Like that was on the track on the inside curve. So, I mean, it was a fucking blast. Like JPEGs and myself and Thomas and Sarah, we didn't stay the entire race. I mean, it was hot as fuck, right? Yeah, dude, it was like 86 degrees. Like I put it on Snapchat, but I got a fucking sunburn on the side of my face. JPEG's 5.5 months pregnant at that point. You know, she's like, excuse. You know, and I'm not blaming her for it. I could have been like, you know, I want to stay, come back, and you know, she probably would have and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but I mean, it was fucking October and it's hot as shit. I got a massive sunburn, but it was awesome, man. I've said it before. I like dirt track racing, and my buddy Rob got me into that. He loves it. He loves being down track, helping out. And, you know, I'm sure if he could afford it, he'd have a car and be driving because he loves that shit. And he's a big NASCAR guy. And it's fun when you can go with somebody who knows a lot. They can explain some shit. You know, kind of tell you. And I get the gist of it, but there's still a lot of stuff that I don't know. Oh, yeah. But being down on the track, I want all other major sports to take note. NASCAR knows how to fucking do it. You can take a cooler into the race. Smart. Like, as long as it's not hard, like a big hard shell. Mm-hmm. Like, it can have, like, the hard shell on the inside, but, like, the one that we took for, like, because we brought our own snacks and stuff. And, like, so you could bring your own beer. You can't have anything glass. If you wanted to bring your own fucking six-pack, your plastic bottle of Captain and your mixers, you can. Yeah. Like, that's the way to do it. Like, that is phenomenal, that's the fact that they do that. Yeah, I mean, and granted, there are... you know, they do have drinks. They sell beer and stuff, and it's expensive, just like you do for NFL and MLB games and NBA, all that. How it's like stupid, you know, you got to take a loan just to get some drinks. But no, for sure. I mean, the fact that they do that is so awesome, and they still make a shit ton of money. But again, they know their crowd too. Right. You know what I mean? Right. I think people would still spend it, but the fact that they do that is great. And a lot of people, like I have friends, the people who literally live across the street from my mom's house, they go every year. Okay. And so maybe people bring trailers and they're down there all Thursday through Sunday. But it's fun. I will go back for sure. Like I had a blast. And like to me, the funniest thing was you can't hear shit. Like I took earplugs because I'm not gonna like just sit there and fucking cars are going however many hundreds of miles an hour, blow out my eardrum. So like when you're talking to people, it's just like impromptu sign language.
Oh, I bet.
You know what I mean?
So is there an announcer? Can you hear the announcer?
Well, you could buy headsets.
Okay.
And they're like I think they're like $60. And the thing is, you can just do the overall channel and listen to the announcers, or you can turn into each pit crew and hear what the driver's saying, what the pit crew's saying to the driver, back and forth. You can go to each racer and listen to them if you want. And so my buddy Rob, his wife, she had to go out and go out to the vehicle for something. So when she was gone, like I put those headphones over, and I already had like the inner ear earplugs. Yeah. And I just put those over, and we were just like listening to the race and stuff. So like that, that's fun. And you just rent those and just turn them back. And I think, especially if you didn't have earplugs, to get those, and if you want to hear what's going on, it helps the race along, I feel. But it was awesome. It was a phenomenal time, man. So
that sounds cool. How loud is it?
It's loud.
Like a rock
concert.
Yeah.
It's loud as fuck. I don't know what the decibels that they get to, but it's. Have you ever been to even like a dirt track race at all or anything like that? So it's like a. I'll go to a concert and not wear earplugs. Yeah. I would never go to a race and not take earplugs.
Really? So it's probably like 140 decibels, like up
high, probably.
Okay.
It's up there. You take NASCARs, but you got what? 32 or something cars and they're going fucking hundreds of miles an hour. And you're right there, and just
and you got your fact checkers right now, like 32 cars, really, motherfucker? It's this many,
right?
Yeah, no, I bet it'd be loud. I'd go. I'd like to go,
dude. You should next time, next year. Like you should come down. We need to make a whole weekend out of it. And like I said, even just going to the vendors, they had like this. Like this new wrestling league that's starting up, and they had like dudes who are all buffed out with man buns, and there's like hot chicks wearing barely nothing, like handing shit out.
I was gonna say they always have like
they have, and it's interesting. Like, I'm not huge into cars, I'm not huge into NASCAR, but I had a fucking blast. I think like with the group of people that we go with, I think you would for sure have fun. God, it is very fun. So. Dude, like I felt like I was live tweeting, and I just felt like it wasn't that great. It had some funny parts, and I think maybe it's just because like I started talking about it so far out there, and if I would have drank the entire weekend, it would have been way better. But no, it was all right. Yeah. So I just like my counts were my favorite part. I just see something random.
Oh so what was the people watching?
Oh my God, dude! To me,
that's gotta be one of the best places ever.
To me, the best moment happened when we were walking up on Saturday to go to all the vendors. We're sitting there, and it's myself, my buddy Thomas, and then it's Rob and Ashley.
Okay.
And Rob is like, "Hey, does that count as a mullet?" And this guy's walking, and I look, and I go, "Where?" And he goes, "Just wait." And this guy looked like he had a normal haircut.
Okay.
Like my haircut, he had bangs, came down, it was kind of messy. And then he fucking turns his head, and I kid you not, like at the back of like right here, like the back half of your head, it starts getting long, and it's in a ponytail to the middle of his back.
It's like a fucking horse's tail.
Yes, but it didn't look like it. It looked like a normal haircut, and when he turned, I like did everything because he's close. He's like within 50 feet away, so I'm trying not to laugh. Not Ashley. She fucking lost it. She's like, fucking started, like, stopped walking and, like, started slapping her knee. And the guy had to have known. Like, he looked over, and then we all bust up laughing at that time. But it was the perfect timing of Rob. I'm like, what mullet? He's like, just wait for it. And then when he turned his head, because I wasn't expecting it to be, like, down to the middle of his fucking back, dude. That was the best.
The dude's boyfriend probably loves that shit.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you can fucking wrap it around 2 or 3 times, But, dude, that was the best hair. Bunch of jean jackets that I saw.
Hell yeah.
2 guys with the typical beer helmets on with the beer in the side.
Straws.
Oh, yeah. Yellow hats, dude. That was fucking everything that you think it is. It is.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is.
Yeah,
it is
sounds
absolutely.
fantastic.
I think it's better than State Fair.
Really?
For sure. Yeah.
I'll bet. Yeah.
I mean, the people don't give a fuck. They love their, they love their drivers, and they're just there for a good time, and that's what's awesome. That's what I love about it. So. I'm just, I was there in a Nasty and Friends shirt and hat.
Represent.
So, walking around in shorts, sunglasses, people are like, who's this fuck? But no, it was absolutely phenomenal. So you definitely need to, you and Cam need to come down next time I go. It would be a blast.
No, I know I would have fun, man. Yeah, I always enjoy your live tweeting. It was good. I thought it was good. It sounds like you have fun. I know it would be fun. I guess I would compare it to like, it's a lot shorter event, but like WWE.
Dude,
that was great for people watching. I imagine this would be like that.
Dude, WWE was phenomenal. I think I might have said this on podcast, but I've been to 3 Monday Night Raws and a pay-per-view, like all in Omaha when they were here, like rolling through. And it's even if you don't like wrestling, just to go in the action and just to see how people get into it, for sure, dude. I love it. I stopped watching it maybe 2 or 3 years. That's probably been a little bit longer, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. I still check in on it every once in a while because it is, I still find it interesting and stuff. Yeah. And I know Long, like he's still, like I think he watched it because I see him tweet about it, every once in a while. So I do check in on it, and I love going to the events, man. They're so fun.
One of the best events I've ever worked. But yeah, like most events you go to, it's usually like 2 teams, whatever, Like baseball, you got the Cubs or you got the Indians.
Right.
Event like NASCAR or event like WWE, it's a lot of white trash people, and everybody, there's so many different people with different shirts, and they got signs, and they're like so fucking dedicated.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is my guy. I can't think of, somebody's name, but yeah, they're diehard.
Yeah, absolutely. And I looked, did not find it a chick wearing a Hulkamania shirt. I didn't even see one Hulkamania shirt.
Jesus
I was rather
Christ.
upset.
Yeah.
So I figured, I'm sure there was plenty chicks dipping, but I was looking for that bright yellow shirt first.
Right,
So, but people still wearing Dale Earnhardt, just of course. Yeah. And then obviously because Junior's not racing this year, but they.
What about my man Paul Walker?
No, nobody had RIP. No, unfortunately, bastards.
Rest in peace, PW.
Yeah, he could probably be at the top, except for now he's below ground.
Some people don't recognize him as a race car driver because he was in movies racing cars.
Right.
But he did die racing a car, I think.
Yeah, he did.
Shit, motherfucker. Respect him,
Respect him.
Respect his name, goddammit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, dude, I'm glad you had fun. I want to go down. I want to check it out. I love people watching. One of my favorite fucking things to do on the planet. People are crazy, man. Do you see any titties?
No, we didn't. Even then, I'm sure they were out for sure. Besides staff, like 2 black people. So. But no titties. It was warm enough. It was definitely warm enough for it. So
that's a goddamn shame.
Yeah, it is a letdown. You're slipping, NASCAR fans.
Yeah. Did anybody have any parody shirts on, like a Ricky Bobby shirt? Did you see anything? Like that?
No, not that I saw. I did see. I think I tweeted about it, but a guy. My favorite shirt that I saw said, "Cool story, babe. Now go make me a sandwich." Like it's an actual shirt. So that was probably my favorite shirt. Because we're all about sexism here. Yeah. So, but yeah, no parodies. I'm sure there were. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention because I was hardcore searching for the Hulkamania. I really was.
Oh, I know.
I was on the lookout.
I was hoping, man.
The yellow shirt because I would have definitely got a selfie for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I mean they're awesome, man. People's they tailgate. Like hardcore.
Oh, I bet, dude.
So
I bet. See, I love that they let people bring in like beer, and snacks.
It's so smart. I didn't know you could do that. And when Rob told us, I'm like, oh, that's so genius. And granted, the thing is the tickets weren't extremely expensive, but I mean, I still think they just make enough money on everything else, like track passes and stuff like that. I mean, track passes were only, I think, $16, and that. I think maybe $16 a piece or something. Yeah. And then tickets, I don't remember fucking how much they were. But again, the whole thing wasn't that fucking expensive overall when you look at like, big events and stuff. So yeah, and the fact that you could take your own drinks and your own food.
Yeah, that's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Man. It's what's shitty to me about events. Like I said, I get lucky because I work them. So I get paid to go. Yeah. I get paid to work them. If it wasn't for that, I would hardly go to fucking anything. If you can't afford to do that shit,
right?
Talk about like NFL football or something like that. Like you want to take your spouse and 2 kids or something like that. Fuck you. You might be paying $1,000, If you want to look at tickets, you want to look at parking. Then, of course, these little motherfuckers are going to want $6 hot dogs,
right.
$6 popcorn. You want a pop? Yeah, that's $3. You want a beer? Oh, that's $8 to $10. Like, look at all that. You're like, what the fuck? Like, I just want to watch a football game.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to pay $500 to do that.
Right.
Like, maybe don't pay those players $20 million a piece.
Right.
And then people that people that are middle class don't have to save for a month to do that. That's ridiculous.
Parking for the Chiefs is $30 alone.
That's fucking.
I mean, it's not as much for the Royals because there's a million games, which is great. But it's still like when we went, it was $12.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I agree.
That's
like
crazy, man.
It's insane when you have to park. So even if you don't go to the game, you just want to tailgate.
Yeah.
Unless you ride with somebody. I mean, you get a group of people and
Yeah, you could split $30.
yeah, I mean, you could split it, but still, that's still an extra.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
And then you can't take your drink in or anything like that. So, which I get it. You don't want somebody throwing a Molotov cocktail.
No, I get it. But yeah, no, it's still shitty. Like it's not unaffordable for, if you talk about somebody that's making a little bit over minimum wage.
Yeah.
They're not taking their family to shit like that. They can't do it. Why save for 2 months to go watch a football game and take your kids? And...
It's usually why when you go, it's just like either you and your spouse go or you and a kid. You got to break it. You got to break it up or something. So, but I mean, a lot of the stadiums are fucking state of the art. They got to get the money somewhere. Like you said,
those
big
players,
contracts.
You can't drop players' contracts because if they make $1 million less a year, they'll go broke.
Right.
I want to get paid $22 million a year this year. Juice up the price of popcorn, $5 now. That's fuck up. It's shitty, man.
Yeah, it's like I was gonna get a drink when I was there, and it was I was like, oh, an Irish coffee sounds great. Your coffee with Bailey's or whatever. No, I think they had Jameson, so it wasn't quite an Irish coffee, but it's like $8, and I'm sure it wasn't even that big. It would have been like a 8-ounce drink or something probably. So. And a half an ounce would have been the alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Shitty
they don't
coffee.
Make drinks. They don't make places out, restaurants, bars, and sporting events. They don't make drinks like we make drinks, half and half.
Yeah.
You get one shot and then like 12 ounces of like.
Yeah. And then you got other places like, so I came up town because we had our team outing for where I work, and we decided to go eat at Don and Millie's because for one, it's like relatively cheap, and they have like 99-cent margaritas, and they have like $1.99 beers, which is like super crazy.
Yeah.
And it was funny we were talking, and they're like, "Oh, just wake up the next morning, gee, a long ass night, got fucked up. Where'd you go?" Don and Millie's. But I went there and I got a margarita, and it was in a fucking 10-ounce beer glass.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah, and it was got a margarita on the rocks, and I was like, hell yeah, 99 cents?
Yeah, that's
like that. My food was less than $10.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, yes, of course it's shitty tequila, but it was a lot of shitty tequila.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even a weak ass drink either.
Yeah, shouts out to Don and Millie's, man. That's what America should be about,
For sure.
Fuck, man. Everything's still expensive.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that, there was a name brand beers. It's not like they're fucking selling PBR or something. You know what I mean? They had like, obviously it wasn't like fucking, like Third Stone Brown or whatever the fuck, like the, what the fuck's everybody called? Like the minor breweries or whatever.
Yeah.
Can't think of the actual name, but it's not like it was that, but you still get like a fucking Bud Light or like somebody got a Miller Genuine Draft. It's still $1.99. I mean, granted, that's probably shit beer to a lot of people, but you get a fucking Bud Light NFL event, and like you said, you're
$8,
fucking
$10.
yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
People pay it. I've done it. I'm guilty of it for sure. I mean, I've done it.
Yeah.
Again, you go there expecting, to pay that. So
yeah, my whole thing is, man, this is America. Beer should be free. If you're a fucking seriously, and I've stood by that. Like, this is fucking America. What are we fighting for? If we're overseas, what are we fighting for?
Right.
It should be for freedom. It should be for shit like beer. You go somewhere, beer shit. If you're a veteran, if you're a veteran in the U.S. military, which I want to say it's less than 1% of the people.
Yeah.
Like me and you were both in that category.
Yep.
Less than 1% of the people right now have or have served in the military. Those motherfuckers should be getting free beer when they go places.
Absolutely.
You're going to make me pay $10 for a fucking beer? Fuck you. That's why I smuggle fucking contraband a lot of the places I go. I smuggle shit if I can get away with it.
Every place I go.
But no, it's just shitty. Like, come on, man. Fuck you, Anheuser-Busch. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Everybody's greedy, man.
Yeah, it is.
Free beer for veterans. That's all I'm saying. Free beer for veterans.
Sure. You get a lot more people joining the military.
Yeah, maybe. Shit.
Free beer for veterans. I like it.
Yeah.
I like where your head's at. For sure. I agree. There's nothing wrong with that. For sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So, shouts out Don and Millie's.
Yeah, shouts out Don and Millie's for sure, man.
That's fucking awesome. They've been 99 cents as long as I can remember. So, but anyway, I was telling you about the team outing. And so we did that, and then we went and did an escape room.
Yeah. I want to hear about that.
Yeah,
you want to set it up for people that aren't familiar with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So what an escape room is you pay. I'm sure it's a bunch of money. It's team outing, so I didn't have to pay anything, which is great. But you go into a room, and the rooms, you either go into one room. There's different sizes. You can do one for a big group of people. Since it was a team building exercise, we did 12 people, so it was a bigger room, which I believe is the harder room because you got more people.
Okay.
But you can go anywhere from like 2 people to like 2 to 3 or 4 to 5 or however many you want to break it up into, depending on what you want to do in the level that they have. But your goal is essentially they lock you into a room and you have an hour to figure out how to get out of the room.
Okay.
Now, each room is different themed. Like the one we went to was kind of like a Halloween theme. And when we first got in there, they set it up and they give you a little backstory. Like you and your friends are hiking and you see this haunted mansion. You decide to go in, and then you get locked in. Now you have an hour to break out, and there's like everything there. And the thing is, they have like a bunch of locks, a bunch of shit's locked up, like with combination locks. So you're gonna have to find combination locks to get this, to get that, and your goal is to get out.
All right.
And again, like I said, they have different themes. I know the one that we went to last night or yesterday. They're going to be working on a new hacker room, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
So
nice. I was just going to say, different themes. Did they have a sex room?
Probably. I wanted to go into that one. Might be a little weird with the people I work with, but
what stays in the fucking escape room?
Yeah.
What happens there stays there.
Yeah, for sure. So, but the one we went in, it was like a little haunted, kind of like a haunted theme, which is pretty cool. And they gave up facts. They said like 20% of teams only make it out. And they give you hints. They'll give you hints along the way. But even then, depending on where you're at, I'm like, we got some hints, but we were like already past that point. Like, we know that. Yeah. We just hadn't got to other steps to get, you know what I mean? Like, there's this one thing where they had these 2 big dice essentially that we needed, and we knew we needed 2. We just didn't have the other one, so they're like, "Oh, this you might need teamwork with the 2 dice." We're like, "Yes, we know that." We just hadn't found, So, but we did eventually escape. We did get out of there as a group with 29 seconds left on the clock.
That's awesome.
If it wasn't for the hints, we would not have gone out. There was one hint, like there's no way we would have found, what we found, because there's one where we opened up like a safe and there was a black light in there. So I'm like, oh, there's shit on the walls. So we looked at all the walls, but then we end up having to break that code. We had to find something else that was in black light, but it was somewhere that I would have never have checked with the light. So and it's like, make sure you check here with the black light. So, I mean, yes, we eventually would have gotten out. It wouldn't have been in under an hour without the hints. But it was still fun as fuck.
How did you get the hints?
So it's so when you're.
Do you have a guide?
No.
It was 12 of you guys.
Yeah, 12 of us.
Well, I guess before that, how big was it? Multiple rooms?
Yeah,
like,
there's just 2 rooms. There's enough room for 2 people, or for like the 12 people between the 2 rooms.
Okay.
Where you could stand comfortably and have room. I mean, it's not like it was super like claustrophobic or anything like that. I mean, you can go in between. So I mean, it's 2 decent sized rooms, probably normal size of like a living room, I guess.
And like, what was in there other than like?
So there was like a couch, and they had like the times count down like up on a TV in the corner, and that's where
That's gonna add some pressure.
And that's where the hints come up at. They just come up in white lettering. Gotcha. So it's a black background, red lettering, and then the hints come up in white underneath the countdown. Okay. And so then there was like, you walk in, and then on the back wall there was another little TV that we knew we were eventually going to have to find out how to turn on because it was blocked. There was a couch there. There was a bag that had like some clues in the bag. Okay. There was another just like case that had 2 locks on it. We got or had 1 lock on it. We opened it up, and then there was another case with 2 locks on it. Damn. And they had like 1 casket, and it had like a vampire in it, which eventually I'm like, it was closed when we got in there. I go, something's gonna make that thing pop out, and it eventually did open up and pop out and stuff. So just stuff like that.
Okay.
And there's pictures on the wall. They're like, you don't need to move any furniture. Don't take the pictures off the wall. There's nothing behind it.
Okay.
Like you can have your phone. There's nothing you can Google because everything that you need is in that room.
Okay.
There's like this one dictionary that had stuff marked in it that we had to go through.
So it's mostly puzzles.
Yeah, puzzles. Like this one leads to this. This connects to this. So yeah, I mean, there is a step-by-step process on what you need to do to get to the end. Like, so this gives us this, and then we know we're gonna need this. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just like what you see. I know if a lot of people watch like The Big Bang Theory, like they do an episode where they go into an escape room. And it's kind of like a mad scientist theme there. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just you go into a room, you're locked in with a keypad, and the final goal is to get the final code to hit on the keypad, and the door unlocks.
Okay.
And then you open it up, and you're good. You can't open it other than that. They do have it in case if somebody just gets like freaked out or something, you can hit a button and open up the door and walk out. So I'm sure there probably are, claustrophobic people and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's like a panic button.
Yeah, and then so it goes out. I think that still stops your timer or whatever. But it was funny because as soon as like the time they're like begin, I go, somebody try 1, 2, 3, 4 on the door. But no, it was awesome. I mean, there's times where like one person would take charge and another person would, and it's kind of like with that many people, you can probably go, okay, let's everybody work on this, and then somebody finds this. Like, well, does this have to relate? Does that relate to it? No, but we might need that later. So we just had different groups of people working, which I think worked in our favor because you can't get 12 people working on one thing.
No.
Because there was like one time where we did eventually get the TV turned on, and looked like you had to reach in and move something because there was these things that were covering what ended up being a code, and then we're like, well, there's nothing to reach in, and then all of a sudden it started moving, and somebody goes, whatever you just did, do it again. But somebody was in the next room just fucking with something, and that's what made it turn. So if he just happened to have been there just not fucking, we may have never got it.
Right.
So like that, like I said, that controlled chaos with a bunch of different stuff going around. It was fun. I would love to do it with another group of people, man. I think it would be fun. Like, part of me wants to do it, part of me doesn't, because I'm 1-0 on escape rooms,
right.
But I guess at least at this point, if I do lose, I'm still at 500, so it's not bad.
True.
But I'm not that smart, so I was like, I need other people with me. Like, if it was like 3 people, there's no way I'd pull my weight and stuff. But I guess they have like a music room is one of the themes there, and like I said, they're working on the hacker room, which is great. So I'm pretty excited about it. Or I was pretty excited, and then one of the guys that I work with, he's like, when I got done, I'm like, that was so much fun. He's like, is it fun because we actually made it out, or would you be pissed if we didn't? And I don't know if you don't get out. I don't know if they tell you how. Like, if they tell you the step, like, this is what you needed to do to finish it or whatever. So I'm sure they probably do, because that would fucking drive me nuts if I didn't get out. But no, and I was talking about it, like, you really didn't hear about them a whole lot, except for in like these last 6 months. I heard of one that they put up here, and then I was just boom, a couple of them, or at least one of them, opened up in Lincoln, and they're expanding.
Nice.
I think somebody said it's like $25 a person or something. Just kind of expensive, but I mean, it's just good, wholesome fun. So I mean, if you win, or if you escape, they gave us a free wristband, and you get a discount on a t-shirt if you escape. So I mean, it's fun, and we got our picture on the old Facebook.
Nice.
So, but yeah, like the fastest team that did that room, they got out in like 20 something minutes, and I'm like, how the fuck is that? Somebody probably done it a couple times.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
I don't know, man. No, that sounds fun. I remember finding out about those a while back and looking at the one around here, and I just never went. But that would be fun for team building, and just, I'm not a puzzle guy. I don't like puzzles.
No, me neither. I'm horrible at them.
So I would want somebody to get at puzzles. You put me in a room, you put me in any room. I'm gonna get out. But I do it by, I'll break a window. I'll go
forcible
through the
entry.
wall. I'm good at. I'm good at breaking into things. I'm good at breaking into buildings for my job. I'll figure out a way to get out anywhere. But if it's got puzzles involved, it's gonna.
And there's one where there was like a word, and then there was like this alphabet. It's just like a made-up Egyptian alphabet, and then each one of those corresponded with a number. So we had to figure out and like decipher it, and they give you a notepad, like it's part of the stuff in the book bag, and like you have to write stuff down to figure it out. So I mean, it's not easy by any means.
No, I bet not.
But it was, like I said, we all had a blast. I mean, to me, it really was. It was an awesome team building exercise, and so it was. Everybody said they had a really good time. So. So we had one guy just start fucking playing music on his phone, walking around looking for clues, which to me was pretty funny. So
yeah, that would be
but
funny.
yeah, my manager almost got hit. She hit this button. She's like, "Well, that didn't like a keypad, not on the door, but somewhere else." That didn't do anything. And the fucking something in the ceiling dropped open, and she almost got hit by a falling bat. And I was standing right there, and I just started laughing. She's like, "Oh my god!" But just funny stuff like that, you know. I mean, it is a lot of fun. If you work well with people, like if there's somebody who's like, oh, we have to get out, and if somebody gets pissed off, like that wouldn't be fun, which I bet probably does happen.
Oh yeah,
you know, you got to go with fun people.
Right.
So, you know, I went in thinking we're not gonna get out. Like, you got to set the bar low,
right?
You know, and it was great. So, like I said, 29 seconds, and my guess is because they can hear you and see you, the people put you in, so. We did certain things, and it costs something else to happen. But I think it's just because they're watching, and when you do it, they have a button
that can help control it.
To help control it.
Okay.
Where like when the thing popped open and the vampire was in there, I'm sure that they acted that. So we got the final clue where it was, and we run to the door, and the guy hits the 4 code, and it like just beeps green. And he just opens it up, and she's standing right there, and she's like all smiling, and like we look up at the clock and see it says 29 seconds. Then there's a pause. Yeah!
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was. I mean, we had, like I said, a couple people who really pulled the rest of the team along, you know.
Nice.
And I was talking to another guy there. I was like, yeah, dude, if I did this by myself, I'd just come and take a nap for the hour, you know, because they had the couch. But I definitely want to go back and see the hacker room. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
But I think a group of 6, I wouldn't want to go any less than 6. I feel maybe 5, depending on who the people were.
Yeah.
So. Our group of friends, we need like 20 of us.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, no, that sounds like a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when I'm bored at daydreaming, and this is going to get a little fucked up.
Nah.
Right? But sometimes
expect nothing less.
I think about, you know, you just put together a team, like a solid team, like we had in the 245.
Yeah.
But, you know, you pick out.
R.I.P.
All right, R.I.P. 245. But, no, I think about like, we're going to get a team, and we're going to do some, like, point break shit. We're going to rob a fucking bank.
Yeah.
So what do we need? So I started looking at, okay, so we need, you know, somebody's obviously going to be the leader. You need a radio guy. You need a getaway driver. You need somebody who's like a paramedic or a nurse that's skilled in emergency medicine. Yeah. You're going to need a couple shooters.
Absolutely.
You're going to need
you got to have those people you're willing to, like, that could take a fall. Like, if they have to fall for you, but they won't rat.
They won't talk, right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You need all those people.
You got to have a well-rounded crew of people who can handle themselves under pressure.
Well, I've always thought about that as well, because I love the movie The Italian Job for multiple reasons. Yes, I know. But
cliche, my friend.
But, you know, with, you know, Mark Wahlberg and then
Charlize
Theron. And yeah, like, that's a great movie, but something like that where they set up multiple stakes. I love that stuff. Dude. So.
And I was thinking about the movie Heat.
Oh yeah,
De Niro.
Oh yeah,
and he's against
sure.
Pacino, who's the cop in there, and then you got Machete in there as a getaway driver, and you got a solid team there. What the fuck? What's his name? The dude he's in Black Hawk Down. He was in Always Sunny when he's a truck driver.
Yeah,
back in the day, I would have split you guys open like a coconut.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name.
How about you two take me in this hotel room and turn me into a Swiss cheese? He was a drug addict for a while. I can't think of his name either. It sucks. But like Heat's a great movie about a team that's solid. They do research. They're in the library studying explosives, studying lockpicking, studying breaching.
Even the funny stuff on the funny side, like was it Blue Streak with Martin Lawrence, Dave Chappelle? Like, even though they do like the heist and stuff like that in there, like, that's still funny. Like when Dave Chappelle's in there smoking, he's the driver, fucking flicks a cigarette but the window's up. You know, even that I enjoy. Like, I think I'd said, and it might have been a question that we've answered on the podcast, like, if you can do one crime and if you get caught, it's a get out of jail free card. Like, I would like to set up to rob a bank. Like, I wouldn't want anybody hurt. No. I wouldn't, want anybody to shoot, but just the logistics and like, we need to do this and that. Like, I enjoy that. Those type of movies are just fun for me and stuff like that.
And I joke around like that. I would never. I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna do it. Times get hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna do what the fuck I gotta do. But robbing a bank, it sounds exciting. It's exciting as fuck when you watch the movies. Point Break comes to mind. Heat. That scene with the shootout, fucking great. But in real life, I don't ever want to have to wave guns, and people who don't have it coming, I'll put a gun in somebody's face.
Right.
Easy. If it's somebody that has it coming. Somebody who I don't know, a stranger, I'm not doing that.
Walk in with the mom holding her kid's hand. Get down!
Yeah, but so I'm thinking realistically, I'm thinking more like Ocean's 11 style.
Yes.
Where you're breaking into a bank when nobody's in it.
Oh yeah,
You
absolutely.
got your lock cracker and you're drilling through the wall. That's legit.
Yeah,
you know?
That's fun as shit.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, robbing a casino. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, those fuckers have it coming.
We'll take things up a notch, right? Yeah.
Steal my money, I'm stealing yours.
Yeah,
You're stealing it back.
Yeah, so we'll set up a team. If you guys send in your resumes.
List your skills, alphabetical order, please.
Military, law enforcement, paramedicine, nurses, even doctors. If you're into lock picking, if you're a shooter, like a hunter, like that. Getaway driver, you're a race car driver.
We'll put you through some tests. You pass.
We'll put you through some tests. We didn't know how you react when the pressure's on. You know what I mean? Like if the heat's, you gotta be willing to drop everything within 30 seconds if you feel the heat around the corner. You know what I mean? So put in your resumes. Send us your resumes. We'll put up a team together. Let us know your skills or whatever, and we'll do work. You guys
Allegedly.
Get rich? Allegedly.
For sure.
Yeah, let us know. We'll
make sure you have a passport too, just in case.
Get a passport, right? We're gonna be doing dirt. We might have to go to another.
We may not allegedly do it in the United States, even.
That's
true.
Which
would make it even harder.
Yeah.
Like, I thought you read the manual. Yeah, but it was in German. I don't read German.
Oh my God, me, myself, and Irene. Yeah. That's so fucking funny, dude.
I can speak it, I can't read it. Dude, that's one of the most underrated movies. Absolutely. I feel, dude. One of my favorite parts, and anybody never seen it, like he said, it's the movie Me, Myself, and Irene, and it's with Jim Carrey. And just short setup, he's a Rhode Island state trooper, and he gets married, but his wife gets pregnant. And obviously Jim Carrey's white, his wife is white, and she ends up giving birth to triplets to 3 black kids. And then obviously his wife leaves, and then it just goes from there and how he deals with it. He always got pushed around. He kept everything down, and then it just came out in a split personality. And Hank is a split personality. He's a fucking dick, and it is absolutely phenomenal. But when the cop comes up and knocks on the door and opens it up, tell him about the dad, and the one of the fat triplets comes out and goes, "What the fuck is going on?" And just throws, like, I don't know why that scene there, just because they in one of the scenes they were younger kids and they were just with Jim Carrey. And they were watching Richard Pryor, and he went to change the station, but like the battery or the remote slipped out of his hand. The batteries flew out because he went to change it really quick because they were cussing, and then he just ended up watching it. So the kids grow up and they fucking drop the F-bomb all the time and stuff throughout the movie, and it's a hilarious. It's one of Jim Carrey's best, I feel. So.
It's great. It probably is underrated. The Jim Carrey's great in it. The 3 boys are great, and in the movie. He gets treated like shit by everybody. Like his kids, he doesn't even recognize. Like he blocks bad things out of his mind, and that's what gives him the split personality disorder later on. But he doesn't even it doesn't register that his boys are black. That not at all. Like he doesn't notice, and he has a great dynamic. He loves the 3 boys; they love him.
So after his wife leaves, when the kids are younger, they're playing in the pool, and he's cooking the sausages. And one of his state patrol buddies comes up and goes, "Hey, do you notice your kids have a year-round tan?" And he just turns and lifts the spatula up underneath his chin, and one of it his captain or whatever breaks it up. Oh my God! That scene and that fucking line is fucking great too. So.
And Renee Zellweger's in
it.
Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. But yeah, that's a great movie, solid movie. And I was talking about underrated movies earlier. Sex Drive. You said you've never.
I have not seen it, which I've heard. Like I said, and Vito had told me about that. I need to see it.
Yeah.
And I still just haven't. Is it on Netflix?
No.
Do you know?
Nope.
No.
You'll have to get it. It's a few years, probably 5 years old now. And they got the regular version, then they got an unrated version. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So fucking good. So fucking good. You'll have to check that out.
That's one of those slapstick comedies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not it's pretty ridiculous, but it's not a spoof or anything. It's a real movie. It's just fucking crazy.
Okay.
It's about kids. I don't even know how to get into it, but it's a solid movie.
Okay,
it's
I'll
funny.
have to check it out.
I don't know who directed it, but it's fucking definitely check it out. Check out the unrated version. It's fucking great, man. It's so fucking good.
And you said Seth Green is in it?
Yeah, that's right. Seth Green is in it. He's not in a huge role.
Yeah. I think that's I've seen that one scene or something. Maybe I don't know.
Awesome and everything. And then the kind of short, chubby kid from Hot Tub Time Machine.
Okay,
1 and 2.
yeah.
That's the first movie I've seen him in. He's great in that.
Right.
That motherfucker's good. But yeah, dude. Speaking of comedy, stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah.
We talked about a little bit on the Prison Calls, but you went to a show. I went to a show. I went to see Ari Shaffir in town, and I went with Long, that son of a bitch that does our animal facts at the end of every podcast. Him and his fiance. So we had dinner. Went to see Ari Shaffir, and if you don't know Ari Shaffir, he's a stand-up comedian. He's funny as shit.
Yeah, he has the Comedy Central show.
Right.
This is not happening, which is on right now. It's on Thursdays, like at 11:30 at night.
So what the fuck's the deal with that? It's not free on YouTube anymore.
They put clips up. I don't think they put the whole show up, but they'll put like
It's not.
Yeah,
anymore,
they'll put like
You gotta pay for it,
one act out of like the group or something for free. But yeah, it's not the whole show anymore. So
But no, they used to just put.
Yeah, the whole season. Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, it used to be like, I'd watch Joe Rogan's one of the best ones, or Joey Diaz, or whoever, or the new ones. Now, like YouTube has some of that stuff where there's a movie or a show on, you gotta pay for it.
Yeah.
I can't find it on YouTube.
Oh,
anymore.
those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Well,
So now you gotta watch it on Comedy Central, but
yeah.
No, Ari Shaffir killed it. I want to say he did like 90 minutes.
Yeah, because I think this weekend,
Austin,
October 28th, he's in Austin, recording his new hour.
Specials, yeah. It's solid, dude. He had us fucking dying.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like I said, last weekend, Bill Burr just recorded when we went, because that's who we went and watched.
Yeah.
He recorded his new special in Nashville, and it's going to be phenomenal. But what I was going to say is, so we had bought tickets because Spencer and his baby mama. That's fucking rude. Sorry, T-Ferg. So Spencer and T-Ferg came down, and we got tickets to go to Burt Kreischer. Right. And I think I might have mentioned this, but he canceled so he can join this festival, the Oddball Festival, and then they ended up canceling all his shows. So he didn't come to Kansas City. Well, you can never get a refund back for tickets, but they'll give you an option to trade it in. Right. And so that's what we did. And they gave me 3 choices. They gave me like Rob Schneider, Harold Williams, and Brad Williams, and I'm like, it's no question, I gotta watch Brad Williams.
Yeah, he's
like for me, like I love Rob Schneider. I don't know much of his stand up. Harold Williams, I've seen, like, he's the guy who killed the horse in Half Baked.
Okay,
yeah. And I've seen some of his stuff. I'm sure he's better. I just didn't like it back in the day, and I heard Brad Williams, who's the little person.
Yes.
And he has a new movie out on Netflix. I think it just came out or is coming out really soon. I don't remember what it's called, but he's been on a couple podcasts that I've listened to, and he was hilarious. I was like, I want to watch him. And because it was Burt Kreischer, we brought like front row tickets. Like we could set our drink on the stage, like the table, because it was at the KC Improv, and the table's right up against there. And my God, dude, I laughed just as hard. Like, he was absolutely phenomenal. The opener was from Kansas City. He was hilarious. I wish I could remember the guy, the feature act, who was really funny. He had a great bit about Disney World and stuff. And I won't tell any jokes because, one, they're not mine. I don't have permission to say them. And two, he's like a feature act. I mean, he's making it, but it's, not that anybody would ever take this and say it's mine. I would never do that. But anyway, he was great. And then Brad Williams did like over an hour, I think, and he was fucking hilarious.
That motherfucker's funny.
And he did a lot of like little people, or he even called himself like midget a lot, and he did jokes. But to me, it wasn't like, sometimes people could just get overbearing with something that's like, to me, like, I've watched Lisa Lampanelli stand up, and a lot of the times, like, when she just talks about having sex with black dudes all the time, like, I get it, it's funny, but you can only make that joke so, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or when she's like talking to people in the crowd who are like Mexican or Latino or black people, she talks to them like they're stupid, which is funny like the first time that you do it, but like when you do it throughout the whole show, I'm like, again, more respect for her because she's on stage. It's just my style, but he didn't do it enough to where I found it annoying at all. And so he did talk about the time that when he was younger, he was in the Special Olympics. Oh my God, dude, he was phenomenal. So we watched that literally the day before we went and saw Bill Burr. Friday night was KC Improv with Brad Williams, and then Saturday was in Omaha with with Bill Burr, and his opening act was phenomenal. I don't remember his name, but he was really good.
Right.
But yeah, it was my best weekend of comedy, like live comedy.
Fun.
So for sure. But I'm gonna get tickets again when the machine comes back through. So, but if anybody does have Showtime, I'll give him some promotion. He does have his new stand-up hour coming out on Showtime on November 11th, and it's called Burt Kreischer the Machine. And like I said before, because that's day before deer season opens.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be at my brother's house, and they have Showtime until December, so he's gonna record it. So I'm
Nice.
gonna get to watch it. So I cannot wait, because I know he was getting ready for it when he was gonna be in KC.
Yeah.
And so I was hoping to see it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I saw Bert. I don't know when it was. It was this year. It was a few months ago.
Yeah.
And he did 90 minutes, and then during the and I talked about this on the podcast, so I won't talk much about it. But yeah, he did about an hour, and they said, "Where am I at for time?" You know, and somebody in the audio room was like, "You're at like an hour and 10." He's like, "Fuck." He's like, "I got 2 more stories I got to tell." So he tells 3 stories, and then kind of asks the crowd what 2 should be in there.
Yeah.
Of course, the machine story.
For sure.
And then,
he's got it. He has to do it so he can get rid of it. I mean,
Right.
he's like, it's probably one of the best stories of all time.
Absolutely.
But he tells it all the time, and he has to stop telling it. 'Cause,
Yeah,
you know what I
agree.
mean? I know he's tired of telling it. I've heard him say it many a times, and I've seen it live once, so I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
You
Same
know what
here.
I mean? So, and you can look it up and see it different ways. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
he tells it not the same way every time, which is awesome. But yeah, I think because he wrote his book,
Yeah.
the book that came out, and the reason why he wrote that book was to get it out there, and then this special, and I think he'll be done.
He'll be done
after
with it,
this.
yeah.
I hope, because I think
He's
I
got to
like when
get tired of
people
telling
do
it.
Yeah,
He's got to get tired of telling it. But yeah, Burt Kreischer's stand-up is great. He's gotten a lot better throughout the years and solid. I can't, even though I watched it live, you know, it's going to be different on the
Yeah,
live.
absolutely.
You know, it's going to keep polishing it up and new stuff and getting rid of some other stuff. So I don't have Showtime. I will figure out a way to watch it. That's going to be great. Specials. Joe Rogan Trigger just came
Oh
out
my
about
god!
a week ago.
Yeah, yeah, that came out on Netflix. Oh, he's one of the best stand-ups.
Yeah,
like
great.
in the game right now, I think, and he just gets better and better. Like he had an older stand-up on Netflix before, and it was good,
Yeah.
but it wasn't that great. It was from like '95, and you
Mm-hmm.
could just see the difference. Like, you know, he came out with the 2 prior that we've talked about, and
Yeah.
like Triggered is just absolutely phenomenal. Like crying, laughing, bent over. It is that good. Love it.
Yeah, so good, dude. A lot of the bits on there were good when he's talking about the edibles.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when he's talking about his kids, lying to kids, and talking about Santa, like that
Yeah.
shit had me laughing. And then about the state of Texas. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of the bits, I've only watched it once. I will watch it again.
Yeah, we'll have to play it.
So
We'll
funny.
probably play it eventually sometime this weekend, I'm sure.
Yeah,
just
for
even
sure.
if it's just like playing in the background or whatever. But yeah, man, I know. I'm sure people probably get tired of it, but I know I watch so much comedy because half the time, somebody will say something. I'm like, oh, this person has a great bit about this. This is what they say, and I always never take it my own credit, but I always say it, and people gotta be like, I don't care. Like they have to, but to me, that's like what it reminds me
Right.
of because it's so funny. So
Yeah, dude.
I don't know.
Earlier today, I watched, or me and Cam were just hanging out, cooking. I'll get into that too.
Yeah.
But we were watching Louis C.K. Chewed Up from, I want to say it's 06 or 08.
Yeah.
He's got 3 or 4 on Netflix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is one of the first ones that's on Netflix anyway. And it's such a fucking funny one. He talks about the Cinnabon and how it's covered in
like on
cum.
at the airport.
At the airport, yeah.
on his way out.
He talks about when he starts talking about the kids. It's so
Mm-hmm.
fucking funny when he's like, "Kids are fucking assholes." He's like, "They're 5." One kid coughed in his mouth trying to tell him a secret.
Yeah. Is he
There's
the-
nothing you could tell me that's a good secret. I don't care. I can't do it justice.
Yeah,
man.
is he the
Louis-
one that calls them little drunk people? I've heard that term.
Not in this one.
Okay,
I don't
I've
know
heard the
I don't
term
know.
that kids are just little drunk people, and I
know if
say
he's-
that all the time. And when I start looking at kids when they do funny shit, especially my niece, like she's 2 now,
Yeah.
like 2 and almost 2.5, and she says some funny shit. I'm just like little drunk people. I love it. Like we were was back home a couple weeks ago. Just be back home, and she ended up like jumping up in the back of the truck and just jumped. She's like, "Come here, Uncle Marty, come back to the truck." And she's jumping out like a trampoline, just yelling like she's having the best day of her life. I'm just like, little drunk people. Like, I would totally do that if I was hammered.
Oh yeah,
You
for
know what I
sure.
mean? It's like I just love it. I don't remember who says it. I just want to give them credit, but I can't remember where I
I don't
heard
either,
it.
man. I think
I'm
I've
sure
heard it.
multiple people have probably said it.
Yeah, it's true because it's accurate, man. Little kids are fucking crazy. Little crazy drunk people.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, that weekend in comedy was great.
bad, dude.
I know Tom Segura's going on tour again. last time I looked at the end of this year, he wasn't going to be in Kansas City because they have his picture up on the outside of KC Improv says coming soon. He just released new tour dates. I haven't had a chance to look at him, so maybe if it matches up, depending on when my son's going to get here and stuff, maybe you guys can come down. We can go to Tom Segura.
Yeah, dude.
So,
that'd be
yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be great, man.
That would be fun. So.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, there's a list of people. I still want to go see Joey Diaz, which I know you got to go see.
Yeah.
Mikey got to see him. It's great. He has a new stand-up hour out. It's on CISO, the app, and Doug Stanhope has a new hour out on CISO.
I got to see those.
Yeah, I'd like to get them. I don't know if they are video or if it's just... it has to be video because they said they have every Saturday Night Live. So, yeah, I would assume it's video. Yeah. But, yeah, I would like to watch them for sure. So, it doesn't cost much, and like I said, Bill Burr, he's running his promo where you get it 2 months for free.
Yeah,
fucking just sign up, watch them, and then just make sure I don't fucking.
Yeah, I always when I do that shit, I write it on my calendar to cancel before.
Yeah,
they'll automatically fucking charge you.
I mean, it's smart on their part.
Right.
I mean, who's gonna really probably care much about $4 a month? You know, Netflix can keep raising up the price. I'll probably still pay it if it's $30 a month.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, no, Netflix. Fuck, I know you finished watching Narcos.
Yeah, you're only halfway through season 2. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we kind of stopped, dude. We're watching football. And
because you guys watch it at work, like as a group, right?
No. Me and Cam watch it.
Oh, it's just you and Cam. Okay, I thought you watched that at the Firehouse.
No, we don't watch it at the Firehouse.
So
that's something I watch at home. I'm behind on shit. Tosh, you brought up Tosh, dude. I haven't watched one episode this season.
Oh, it's good, man. He's still I know people make fun of him, like, oh, this show's still on. He's still fucking killing it, man. He's so funny. Like, he's doing a college tour, and he's announcing. I don't know exactly how it is, but he's saying the colleges that are in and out, and Huskers are in. Oh, yeah? So he's just like, Huskers, you're in. He's like, he goes, go Big Red. He goes, Oklahoma, you're out. He goes, I'm like Kevin Durant. I got to be somewhere else. So I don't know if it's an actual where he's going to be in Lincoln and stuff, but he loves coming here because he shits on Nebraska, all the time. Like in one of his stand-up specials, he has a bit. He's like, I did that bit in Omaha.
Yeah.
So
he does shit on Nebraska.
See, there I go again. Starts.
And he a few seasons ago he went to Arizona State.
Yeah,
I remember that one, and he was on campus. Maybe he will come here. It'd be great to see his.
Yeah, like I said, he mentioned at the very first episode of the season on what he was going to do. Yeah. Again, I think it is a college tour, so which would be awesome.
Yeah,
so
that would be awesome.
You probably have to be in college to go, but no, but he's so funny, man. He just takes risks, and a lot of the shit that he says.
Yeah, zero fucks.
Yeah,
motherfucker gives zero fucks. Well, talking about TV shows, like I said, I'm behind. I've been watching a lot of football, man. I want to get into football with you too. Yeah. We got some big shit coming up for the Huskers.
Yeah, we do. Huge couple weeks.
The one show that I did watch was The Walking Dead season premiere.
Yeah, which was, at the time this comes out, it would be this weekend, so it was a week ago.
About a week ago.
Yeah, so I don't imagine anybody listening to this podcast hasn't watched Walking Dead yet, or if they do listen to this, they don't watch you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it's like
I don't think we're worried about a spoiler alert.
Yeah, we are gonna give out some spoiler alerts. So if you have not watched it yet, just stop now or fast forward because we are gonna get to it. Again, I don't think it's gonna be an issue, but just in case, you can't come saying we're pricks. We're other stuff you can, but not this.
Yeah, we're pricks for sure.
Yeah, no
not
doubt.
For spoiling Walking Dead.
But yeah, so what'd you think about it? Because first of all, everybody knows if they are true fans that you do not like that show.
Yeah, I'll watch it. It's entertaining, but and I said this before, I was caught up until this new season.
Yeah.
But I don't give a fuck. I don't. Most of the characters on there, I could give two fucks if they die or not. I don't give a shit. But people at work watch it, so I watch it. And I mock it. I make fun of it. And some of it is entertaining. Other stuff, I'm just like, just die. Just who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck anymore.
A lot of people want Carl to die, man. Somebody.
Yeah. Oh my God, me too.
Yeah. Somebody I used to work with, her husband has a shirt that says "Kill Carl" already. And I just think that's hilarious. So I fucking bust up laughing when I saw that.
Motherfucker got shot in the face, right?
Yeah.
Like a 9mm. And I just remember a couple of us at work were like, yes, fuck that little motherfucker. Fuck him. And then sure enough, he gets a bandage. And then he's up walking around like the next day. It's like, he got shot in the fucking head. The 9mm round, at least. Could have been a 40. Could have been a 4.5. I don't know. I don't remember. But it was a pistol, close range,
Yeah.
in the eye. Eye patch, he's good to go. No, like,
Right.
what the fuck?
Yeah, he had one touch and go night. But.
Yeah. There's no trauma team, no neurosurgeon, no hospital, no surgical staff.
It just caught the outside.
Must have just nicked the outside. Band-Aid, you're good to go. Carl's a fucking cyborg or some shit. Fuck Carl. But no, anyway, so at the end of the last episode, last season, people are freaking out.
Yeah.
Because somebody gets killed.
Yeah.
Right? They get snatched by Negan's crew. Is that correct? Negan?
Negan. You fuck up every day. I don't know if I like the show better or the fact that you don't know people's names more.
I said it's Negan. It's Negan?
Negan. Yeah, it's Negan.
Like, it's like Megan and Megan.
Right.
Negan, like Key and Peele. Negan?
Yeah.
Negan. So he
Negan.
gets snatched up by Negan's crew.
Which, what's his real name? And like the actor that plays it.
I have no idea.
Fuck, it doesn't matter. He has like
Ben Affleck.
no.
If you're white, then you Ben Affleck.
Something Dean Morgan, I think. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, Ben
he
Affleck.
plays in
So Ben Affleck plays Negan. And,
it's Affleck, not Affleck.
So he gets the crew.
We may or may not be drinking.
So Ben Affleck has the Walking Dead crew. They're on their knees at the end of last episode of the last season, and it's clear that he kills one of the
because
main
the
characters.
very last scene is like it's the view from the person who gets killed because he kills him with Lucille, which is the name of his bat, which is wrapped in barbed wire.
Yep.
Not like how Mick Foley used to do it, barbed wire. I mean, it's like tied in there. So yeah, it shows him hitting him in the head.
Yeah.
The person hitting in the head, but you don't know who it is.
Right.
And they leave that. It's like 260 something days until the season 7 premiere, which was last week.
Yeah.
That it came out.
Some motherfuckers are chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
I know people were discussing it. People who are true to the comic book and all this other stuff, and it was a cliffhanger. A lot of people cared. I didn't really give two fucks.
Oh, I cared for sure because I love the show. But like, so for me,
who did you?
So we were talking. So this is what, like, my point of view. This is what I said. I said it's either going to be. I said either Daryl or Maggie is what I initially said. I said Daryl or Maggie or one of the main characters, only because the last episode in season 6. Because a lot of people say it was going to be Abraham, and I was like,
And I think that's what they said in the comic book. I believe.
No, the comic book was Glenn.
Shit.
Yeah. Negan killed Glenn in the comic book. But like for me, I was like, there's no way that last episode was going to be, because they spent the entire episode setting up for that final scene.
Right.
There's no way that they're going to do it and kill Abraham and to make it, like, and he's only been on the show for 2 to 3 seasons.
Right.
And he's great. I love him and he's funny and I would be pissed, but I was like, I will be more, and I don't want any of the main characters to go, but I would be more let down of that setup just to murk somebody who's only been on for 2.5, 3 seasons.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So I was like, what the fuck? So when they get to it, they show the killing and they do kill Abraham, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I was like, it sucks because I didn't want any of them dying.
Yeah.
And which I know we've brought this up on other shows before, without getting too much into The Walking Dead and to set it up, like, you could argue that Rick's group is the main group of the people who are getting killed.
For sure.
That they deserve it. Like, it's just kind of like when you watch Sons of Anarchy. Like, you have your feeling that you're cheering for the motorcycle group because that's the point of view that you have.
Right.
If our point of view was from Negan's point of view through the whole series, you'd be like, these guys are fucking assholes.
Yep.
Kill them all.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like that
Right.
they do that. So, but I was saying, I still didn't want any of them killed. So when they kill Abraham, I'm like, whatever. It's fucking stupid. Why would they fucking set that up?
Yeah.
Like, it's dumb. It's whatever. Then they fucking pulled the old fast one.
Yep.
And because at talk, he's like, I'm not going to put up with the shit. No, because before he killed Abraham, he's like, you can cry. You can. He's like, no talking.
You can breathe.
Yeah, you can breathe and cry, but don't say anything or anything like that. So after he kills him, then Daryl jumps up and fucking punches him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh fuck. And he's like, I warned you. And he's like, now I got to show you, or whatever the fuck he said. He fucking turns around and just smokes Glenn.
Yep.
And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So I did not want to see Glenn go, but I was satisfied because I was like, the setup for it was not a letdown for me, in my opinion. So, and then it also stayed true to the comic books because he did kill Glenn in the comic books. So,
Yeah, Chang Wang got it, and he didn't just get it. He didn't just get it. You know what I mean? Like he got fucked
because
up.
the thing is in the comic books. I don't read the comic books. I just talk to a lot of people who read them.
Yeah.
They drew it like his eye popped out in the comic books.
Okay.
And so that's what they did.
Yeah.
And like I said, Dean Morgan, Michael, whatever the fuck his name is, it's gonna piss me off and I can't think of it.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah. Rest in peace. But that they kept that. So which is great because what happens. Oh, this is beautiful. The best part about something major happens. And Walking Dead, I know not for you, but arguably could be one of the best shows of all time. As far as when you look, I know you're shaking your head because you don't like
gotta
it.
Be shitting.
But I'm talking about when you look at all the ratings, stuff like that. I love it. I would say it's one of my all-time favorite shows for sure, for me.
Wrong. Wrong. No. Go ahead.
But the best part when that many millions and millions of people, you left fucking dick tease at the end of season 6, you come do this, are the memes that come out.
Oh, absolutely.
And there are two that absolutely fucking had me going. And so, like I said, as I had popped out, and there's a meme, which I'm sure you've seen a bunch of times, where they were in the prison from season 3, and it's Rick where he goes up to Carl and he always says something, and then Carl replies back with "No, Dad."
Yeah.
And so Rick goes, "Hey, Carl, what, Dad?" He's like, "What's Glenn's favorite fast food place?" And it says, "No, Dad, it's Popeyes."
I have seen that one. That was great, man.
So that was phenomenal. And then the other one that Mikey sent it to me on Instagram. And I've only seen it like once, so I'm trying to remember. It's 4 panels. And have you seen Batman and versus Superman yet? Okay, so Thomas and Martha Wayne are played by Negan and Maggie.
Okay.
So they're married obviously as the Waynes in Batman vs Superman. So it showed Negan with this bat, and then it showed says something to Maggie, says like "Hey girl" or something like that, and then it shows Glenn and says "Hey, she's taken," and then it shows him hitting Glenn with the bat, and then the next panel is them as Martha and Thomas Wayne, which is great that people make that connection. So I think it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan now. I don't know. Fuck, it doesn't matter. David Spade.
I've seen that dude and stuff. I don't know what else he's in.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but
he's great, man. I think he's a phenomenal actor, and he plays. And the thing is, like, I guess in the comic books, Negan he says "fuck" like every other word.
Really?
So they didn't know how it was gonna work, but I think he does a great job. And I think this is gonna be a great season, a phenomenal season. So.
They got to get some revenge. And, the way Chang Wang got smoked.
Glenn's Asian for people who don't know.
My man Glenn, who's actually one of the characters I like. I like him.
Yeah.
I like Rashon.
Yeah.
Right? Did I say that right? And then I like the black dude, Donatello.
I've
said that
Morgan.
before.
Yeah.
Morgan.
Yeah.
I like them. Like, fuck Carl. Fuck the main guy.
You don't like Rick?
Rick. Fuck him. Fuck Rick. Other than that, there's not a lot of... Oh, I like Daryl.
Yeah.
Daryl, I do like... So there's the few people I like, and then everybody... And I like the chick with the short hair. I think she's dead now. The chick, she was a gangster. The chick, she was the main chick. She had the short hair. She was older.
Oh, Carol?
Carol.
Yeah. No, she's still in. Her and Morgan weren't in that group. They're somewhere else. They're in the Kingdom.
Shit, they're gonna come back.
Which is the guy, I think the character's name is Ezekiel, and he has a tiger. It's gonna be fucking. That's where they're at right now. So it's gonna be good shit. Like I said, I don't read the comic books, but I've sat with somebody when I was training them at work. He told me a lot about the comic books. I know Spencer reads them. My old roommate, like she used to read them, so I know a lot about them. She has them all. I should read them.
Right.
Because
when did these come out? Like how they're not old like Superman comics.
The comic books? No, I don't think so. I don't know when they originally came. I don't know when they started or anything. So
do you think Morgan and Carol are gonna have interracial relations?
Some people, like, they were talking about it on the... So another part that I love about The Walking Dead is after it, there's a show called The Talking Dead.
I've seen that a few times.
With Chris Hardwick.
I do,
and
like
he's
Chris
a stand-up comedian. He's hilarious.
Yeah, I do like him.
So he makes it funny.
Okay.
And one thing about... Because they did a live Talking Dead after this premiere.
Okay.
And they had like 2,000 people, and they had like almost the whole entire cast. And... Maggie, I can't think of her name in real life, but she was talking and she said fuck or fucking, and she blurted out or whatever, and she's like, oh wait, or the TV blurted out. They're like, can I say that? And Chris Hardwick's like, he's like, we just watched somebody get there are two people head smashed in on TV. He's like, if you don't like the word fuck, fuck you. Because I'm going to pay for that one. But seriously.
Yeah. No,
which
right.
is true. Yeah, 100%.
We brought that up.
Yeah, and he's always, like, if something, like, sounds dirty, he definitely makes it sexual and stuff. So I love Chris Hardwick.
I like him,
like,
too.
I think that's why I started watching it. Is because, like, I was like, this is interesting. I kind of want to see what it's about. And then the first episode of Talking Dead that I watched, I only started watching it last season.
Okay.
And it was okay, but he was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's a funny motherfucker. If you ever watch At Midnight, that show's good. He's good.
He's like the Ryan Seacrest of comedy.
But he's like Ryan Seacrest to me is just a little bitch.
No, I'm just saying Ryan Seacrest is in everything. Like,
he's in everything.
Chris Hardwick does Talking Dead. He fucking does At Midnight. He has Nerdist podcast. Like, I mean, he's everywhere. Is what I mean by that.
Oh, I got you. But no, he's like a Ryan Seacrest, but actually a funny dude.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Seacrest is just like a robot. He seems like a little bitch.
Yeah.
And then when I see Nick Cannon, I see Nick Cannon as like the black Ryan Seacrest. They're both bitches. They're seriously both bitches. They're like robots.
Yeah.
They're real fake with Chris Hardwick. He's funny as fuck, dude. His stand-up's funny. He's great on At Midnight. He's quick. He's good. Talking Dead, we watch that every now and then at work. But back to Glenn. So Glenn was getting it. Yeah, he smashed in the head, and then Negan is like laughing. He's like, "Oh my god, you're fucked up. Your eyes falling out," and he doesn't kill him right away. So it's showing the rest of the crew, the rest of their crew. Yeah. And he's bleeding. His eyes falling out. His head smashed in. He's still alive. He's trying to talk to Maggie. He says Maggie's name, and then Negan gives a little speech, and then he fucking finishes him off by just smashing his head into pink mist. It was disturbing, dude.
What was your reactions?
Oh, I was just like, damn, that's pretty fucking crazy, man. I mean, I don't give a shit. Like, I could only imagine, like, if I was, deep into the show, like Breaking Bad or something that I was really invested in, look, you love that show. I wonder what what you were thinking. I was just kind of like, holy shit, this is pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, well,
most shows don't do that to main characters.
Right, yeah, and I had a bunch of different reactions. One, like I said, I was pissed off because I didn't want to lose any of them, and then when they smoked Abraham, I was like, fuck. And then because I didn't think that they would kill anybody else, and I think that's like they let that.
That would have been a letdown.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So then when they killed him, I was super pissed because Glenn was one of my favorites out of all of them. So I was super fucking pissed that he's gonna be off the show now. But I was happy because they didn't fucking they didn't let it down. Didn't. For me, it wasn't a letdown. Now I know a lot of people don't like cliffhangers, and I want there's this YouTube channel that I watch, and they review all this stuff. And I don't know why I still continue to watch and listen to what they say because they always fucking have something to complain about.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, they're just they're just such big critics. Like, can't you just enjoy something? Like, if you don't like a show, you don't like a show. Yeah. But these people apparently love the show, but they're like, well, I don't think that they should have left it on a cliffhanger. I don't think it does great for this. Like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Like, then why aren't you writing on the show? Like, it just drives me nuts. So hearing that. For me, it wasn't a letdown. Yeah, I mean, people still talk about it. Like 6 months out, people are like, "Oh, fuck, Walking Dead's coming out." Yeah. Like, you got to know who it is.
Oh yeah.
But I did see on the internet that after the episode aired, there was a clip going around where it showed Maggie dying, and I think they did that. And my personal belief is that Walking Dead creators leaked that, and so somebody could have something on, and it's just like a decoy. They throw it because they will do stuff like that.
Right.
Throw out a decoy so people don't find out. But yeah, I mean, they've known for about a year or two that they were going to kill him. Kill Glenn off, and it is. I do kind of like it because they did keep true to the comic books on that portion of it. So I was pissed, I was sad, but I was also excited, and I was kind of happy just to see like the little stuff because they did that, you know. But there are a lot of people because in that scene, Negan is trying to break down Rick essentially, and so he's gonna have. He made it where he's going to make Rick cut Carl's arm off or they were going to kill everybody else. Yeah. And Carl gave him the nod, and Negan stopped him because he finally broke him, so he knows who's in charge. There's a lot more people, I think, pissed off that Carl didn't get his arm cut off than Glenn died. I was looking at people's comments, and they're fucking legit pissed off. Like, people are pissed off at Negan because he didn't make him cut his arm off. So.
Well, the motherfucker said in the show, if I remember right, Negan said, he's like, look, I might be a lot of things, but I'm a fucking honest man. I'm a man of my word.
Yeah.
I don't fuck around. And then he fucks around and says, oh, just whatever. I'm just kidding. Whatever. You don't have to cut his arm off. What the fuck? That's a complete contradiction. Are you a fucking dictator in this shit? If you're a fucking dictator, you're mashing people's heads with baseball bats. Then you can't just be like, that one was a bluff. But next, you gotta stay to your word.
No,
Hitler did.
Yeah, but he
like
just he just killed 2 fucking people in front of him. You know what I mean? Like how quick he broke Rick down in the show. Obviously, it was a matter of a couple hours.
Yeah, well, in all fairness, he's British in real life. Like he's British in real life.
That's why he broke so easy.
Yeah, he's a bitch. All right.
I think half of the staff is British.
Half the staff is British. Another problem I have with The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Look at like a real show like Breaking Bad. Name one British actor on Breaking Bad. Can't do it. Can't do it. Mike Singletary. Can't do it. No, I don't know. There might be. I don't know.
Yeah, there might be.
There probably is.
Plus, Bill Burr's in Breaking Bad, so
that's right.
Yeah,
that motherfucker is for sure not British. He's a true American hero, ladies and gentlemen.
He said that he watched like the first. He said on his podcast today, or the one that came out on Thursday. He had Joe Rogan on. And he said he watched like the first 2 seasons of, I almost said Walking Bad.
That'd be a great spinoff.
Yeah. Of Breaking Bad, and he told his agent, he's like, I don't care if I just carry a tray of meth in the background, just get me on that show. And he knew somebody that he had worked with, so he had an inside connection, which they obviously gave him a bigger part for anybody who's seen it. But that's fucking cool. Because I didn't know he was in it until I watched it. I was like, fuck, that's Bill Burr. Like, that's awesome. And he does have like some funny lines. I mean, you know, they don't make him like as a comic or anything, but he did great, man. I thought it was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, he did great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just watched it, talking about like internet shows. I do conspiracy stuff. I just watched the thing about Breaking Bad, and they're saying Walter White's not dead, and it's like a 10-minute video. They break down. They break down. I mean, they get down into the science.
Spoiler alerts. Spoiler alert. Sorry, people, if you haven't watched it.
Show's been over for 3 years.
Yeah.
If you haven't,
somebody's probably has the final episode on Netflix that they're getting ready to. What?
Fuck!
Those fucking cunts again.
We're getting sued. But anyway, they take down. They break down the last episode. They take down again. Spoiler alert. They break down the last scene, and they look at the M60 machine gun. They look at the height of the Buick he's in. They look at the way the rounds are, and they pretty much narrow it down that he didn't get hit by a bullet. He got hit by shrapnel.
Oh, okay.
Then they narrow it down. It wasn't a through and through wound. He didn't have any blood on his back. He just got hit in the abdomen. They break down like
I love shit like that. Even though it's not true, I love shit like that.
They show you graphs about the height of the vehicle and where it was at and where they were at, and on top of Jesse's body, that's maybe 18 inches off the ground, and then where the barrel was shooting, he got hit by shrapnel. It wasn't through and through. They break down hospital records and like people who got shot in the abdomen. Like 86% of the people lived.
Right.
And then it has to do. Then they look at times. They said, well, why did the police get there so quick? Because as he passes out, the police are showing up. They said, well, somebody must have heard the gunshots, so they must have been close to the metropolitan area, which means as soon as he hit the ground, the police were there. They look at Albuquerque. They said, what kind of cop was it? They show the patch, and they said and then they show Albuquerque police badge.
Dude, I love when people go deep like that.
And they're like, Albuquerque police's protocol is if a victim is shot, that they have to treat him with medical aid as soon as possible.
We need to watch this final scene.
So they break it. We can watch that, but they break that down. And so if the police are there, their protocol says they have to treat him. He had to have got to the hospital very quickly. The chances of dying from a wound, unless he got hit in a major artery or part of the aorta or something, which is unlikely.
He's already dying of cancer, though.
And they say there's reports that dying of a specific kind of cancer, the same kind of cancer he has, there's facts or science that shows that because of the cancer, sometimes that makes your blood clot quicker than usual. So that his cancer would have actually helped him in the. They really break it down.
Jesus.
So they're saying
who are these?
The chances that he died from just a shrapnel wound in the stomach and then immediately getting found by the police taking the hospital, the chances of him dying from that are very, very slim.
I don't see them bringing back the show, but it's still fun. Like, I love seeing fan fiction stuff like that. Like, I think one of the cool ones of like the new Jurassic World. They're saying that if you remember in the very first Jurassic Park, where the main archaeologist he's digging, and that one little fucking kid speaks up and he talks about the raptor and he takes the claw.
The
talks
kid
about
with the weird fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Fuck that dude.
There's some fan fiction saying that's Chris Pratt's character. Like he grew up because of that to become. And I didn't read any further than that because I had to read and it wasn't a YouTube video. So, but like there's just like weird stuff like that, you know, or like there's a ton of fan theories about like Home Alone and like all this different shit. Like I enjoy stuff like that. Just as like just a different take on it, and like there's really what this movie means and shit like that. Yeah. Like what movie was it? Like the Titanic, I think it was, where like this was all a dream, and the reason why she didn't let Jack up on there because he had already died, and she was like dreaming. You know,
something about that he was a ghost. He never existed.
Yeah, just some shit like that. So I love just stuff like that. Yeah. It just makes it interesting. Absolutely, next time you watch it. So
yeah, for sure.
But I mean, we've gotten pretty serious, but I wanted to talk to you about something kind of serious. I know
before we get there,
I
want to say not so fast. All right, so how dare you? I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but how dare you consider The Walking Dead one of the best shows?
I'm just saying. What I meant by that is me personally, it definitely in my top 10 favorite shows of all time.
Well, they say it's the number one show on TV right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's. So you're not lying by saying that? I just think maybe the shows that are on TV right now are just shit. And I don't know any other shows that's really on TV. I see commercials every now and then watching football.
Yeah.
About some show on CBS or NBC, and I'm like,
there's always
like I think there's like they do like a season and it's shit.
There's
then
very
a new
few
show and then another. You know, they're all new and they don't work. It's all shit TV.
There's very few people who don't like the show who watch it. You're like in the minority, which cracks me up that you're busting my ball. Oh, you like that show? It's in your top 10? Fuck you.
Listen to me. It's the same shit every season. They just change the location and then kill a couple people, add a couple more. It's the same shit.
I don't care. I like it. The thing is, I'm not a critic when it comes to shows. Yeah. I don't watch a lot of reality shows as far as like. No. I mean, I love Survivor. Like, I'll watch that, like that type of reality. But I don't want to think when I'm watching. I just want to shut off my brain and just watch and enjoy. And that's what I do. So for me, I absolutely love the show.
Yeah.
So
and here's the thing: I don't watch shows like Survivor because I survive every day.
Yeah,
like I live that in real life, so I don't have
live off a cup of rice for 30 days at a time.
Give me a fucking bayonet and a canteen of water, and I'll survive indefinitely. No, but anyway, I did want to. I think the show is okay. I think it's entertaining. It's not that good.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's that good. But I do.
I hope you continue to watch it just so we're aware. I will. Because I want to keep having these conversations.
I will. And then the fact about censorship is dead on. Chris Hardwick is dead
on. Yeah.
Like the earlier we talked about.
We'll have to pull up that clip because I mean, on obviously AMC they had to blur it out, but you can clearly read his lips when he's like, you know what, fuck you. Like I fucking lost it.
And the episode, I think we talked about this before. The episode where they killed the one girl because she killed. What does she do? She killed the younger girl. Remember that?
Yeah. And
she's like, look at the flowers, or whatever, and pops her in the back of the head with a pistol.
Yeah, Carol.
Like, you're telling me that's not fucked up? Like you could kill a kid on TV, but you can't show a nipple and you can't say the word fuck. Right. Or you can show people's brains exploding.
Yeah, eyes popping out and shit.
We live in one of the most violent cultures in the world. Right. For a first world country, absolutely, and it's such a violent country, but. Yeah, you can't show a fucking woman's nipple, and you can't say the word fuck, but you could show people's heads getting cut off and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck the FCC.
Yeah, and I don't get it. I mean, I get it. You don't want to come home and have, like, maybe if you don't want your kid cussing and stuff, like, I'm not going to want my kid to cuss when they're younger and stuff, too. I'm going to laugh my ass off when he does because it's inevitable. Like, I cuss a lot, obviously. I've been told, just people who listen to this podcast, like, you guys cuss a lot. Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah, we do.
That's just how people fucking talk, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how kids talk. And that's how kids talk around other kids. And,
I remember being a kid. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, I put my fucking socks on today. Right. You know, like you just said it to say it. Yeah. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's other shit to protect your kids from. It's not the word fuck. You know what I mean? There's other shit to be fucking worried about.
Absolutely.
But anyway, you wanted to get on some serious shit?
Yeah. I don't mean to bring it down, and I know we don't bring up a lot of personal shit.
Okay.
When it comes here, I mean, obviously we talk a lot about personal lives, personal stories and stuff.
Yeah.
sometimes change the location, names of people, protect them. But I do feel like there needs to be something brought up, especially when it's a disgrace to Nasty and Friends.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Let's
and
hear
so
this.
I think I need to call out Spencer, that degenerate fuck.
Shit, we've talked about Spencer a lot. We've had him on the podcast before. Yeah, he's got a reputation.
Yeah,
what's up?
Yeah, he's a fuck. So everybody knows that he's a closet fucker. Everybody knows that story from
episode
podcast.
6.
So brief over. He was dating. I think they were dating. Doesn't matter. He's degenerate. He probably just met her that night.
She was probably a fucking hooker or something.
No, this isn't the closet chick. Well, anyway, yeah,
okay.
yeah, he did have sex in a closet in an empty house, which is weird. I still think that needs to be thrown out
closed.
there. Yeah, but he told the story on episode 16 where he tried to hook up with this chick with night terrors, and her name was Brooke.
Right.
And so I know we said on the podcast it's when he lost the 1-2-3 game, had to reach out to her. Well, she never did reach out. I mean, he did what he needed to do. She never did reach out. Well, we said that we wanted to get her on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, that was not a joke. I know a lot of people think that we were joking around because we do dick around a lot.
Why the fuck would we joke about something
that
like
is seriously not a joke, because I would love to hear her point of view on it. If she's willing, got to get consent. If she wanted to come on, we tell her about it. Let's get her point of view. Just probably more so we can kick dirt on Spencer, because it's funny to kick him while he's down.
Well, that plus, look, this degenerate motherfucker comes on the podcast.
Yeah.
And he tells his story, but the way he tells his story is he's the victim.
Right.
Like, it's her fault. She's a shitty person. She has a disability, a disorder, a sickness. He put up with this broad for 3 nights, and now I don't know if he's got PTSD from it, but he's traumatized from it. But he makes it like, I'm the victim in this situation.
Yeah.
It was a horrible situation. Meanwhile, young Brooke has this disorder for her whole life.
Yeah.
And, we want to hear her side of the story.
Absolutely.
We definitely want to get dirt on this scumbag.
Yeah.
We were 100% absolutely legit about having her come on the podcast, hear her side of the story, see what we could do, offer our hand to her to be like, what can we do to help you, young lady? We're here for you. We support you no matter what this motherfucker says about you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we would not have made fun of her at all, sure. And so that happened, and so I kept touching base with him, and he was going to let me know if she did reach out to him. She never did. Understandable. And I think we explained the situation later on another podcast, so I won't get into that. So, I don't remember how long ago it was. It was within the past 4 to 5 months, I'm almost positive, that I get a text, and Spencer and Joey, you guys know Joey, he's been on the podcast before, and he's the one who made our recording sign for us. He was the one that was going to originally start the podcast.
Yep.
So he's a big part of this podcast.
Shouts out, Joey.
Very much. And so we're in a group text. We pretty much, us 3 text at least once a day about something stupid. And so I just get this, I think I got a Snapchat too, but it was a Snapchat like with an arrow drawn. And he had originally said, maybe he just took it with Snapchat then saved it, but he originally had said, he's like, you'll never guess this. And we're like, what? And so it was a Snapchat with an arrow pointing down to the back of some chick's head, and he goes, that's Brooke. I instantly screenshotted it to you, and the conversation, and then I sent it to you instantly. And I was like, you have to go tell her about Nasty and Friends.
Absolutely.
And I was like, give her information. And he said no. Now, not that I would ever defend anybody like him.
No.
But he was with his kids, and he was with his girlfriend who he has a kid with at the time.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an excuse. I'm just telling you, just for full disclosure for the other listeners, that's where his mind was. Okay. Where it should have been obviously with Nasty and Friends.
Yes.
Because he's one of our biggest fans, and he's been on the podcast the most out of all of our guests.
That's true. And nonetheless, he lost the 1-2-3 game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's like taking a blood oath. That goes above anything else.
I mean, in his defense, I did say he had to contact her on Facebook, and he did do that. So he did own up to that. But the fact that he saw her in person and didn't say anything, and I asked him to, as a friend, we're trying to get views and listens. We're not trying to get famous, but we need to bump up our shot group here. We need to tighten our shot group.
Yeah, and we gotta put a closure to this.
Yeah.
We want to get her side of the story. We want to figure
This
thing
is episode 21. He told this story in episode 16. There's been 2 more prison calls in between. we got a lot of stuff. This is going to be an open wound, if you will, until it's closed. We need to get her on. He knows this. And I told him, Joey was encouraging him. Joey's on our side, of course.
Of course. Stand-up guy.
Yeah, he's a real good guy. That Joey guy. And, he just wouldn't fucking do it. Wouldn't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Spicy's throwing over chairs. Fucking notepads are going across the room.
Bullshit.
Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. And you know what? He may never be on the podcast again. That may have been it until we get Brooke on.
Yeah,
get her on. We'll reinstate your ass.
Yeah, Spencer, I don't know if you think this is a fucking game. We're not playing games here. This is real life. This is real shit.
Yeah, so I want to know your thoughts because I know, I would shoot a text. Joey would send a text. Spencer's, screenshot. I sent you probably 5 screenshots of the whole conversation. This was a few months ago. It was football season. It was at a Husker tailgate. I remember getting that, and I remember thinking, "Holy shit!" Yeah, he wasn't at the. I was at a tailgate, so I don't fucking remember. He wasn't. He was somewhere else.
Okay.
Where he saw. I don't remember where it was, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember thinking oh my god, this is our chance.
Yeah.
And then motherfucker, no. And we've talked about Spencer on the podcast. We're like, yeah, he's a degenerate fuck. So what do you expect? You're dealing with a degenerate fuck. Yeah. What do you expect out of him? This is the result you get.
I thought the love for the podcast would shine through there. I thought maybe he would just because maybe T-Ferg doesn't know who it is. I wouldn't think. I mean, maybe he could just sneak over there and be like, oh, hey, I think I see somebody I know. And just say, hey, check out Nasty and Friends podcast, episode 16. They want to talk to you. How quick is that? That's quick. It's probably quicker than the time he was fucking in the closet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
It's as simple, man. There's times in your lives where you got to you either shut up and run. You just fucking got to duke up your fist. Fuck, man?
There's a thing called going above and beyond what's expected of you.
Yeah.
There's a time to
shine.
That's
big in the military.
It's hero shit. Right.
Yeah.
It's hero shit. It's
not all heroes wear capes, Spencer.
That's right, man.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to you bear down and fucking go for it,
No. I didn't mean to bring the mood down, but I had to get out there. I had to get out there to the 10s and 20s of you. Let us know. Send us emails. nastyandfriends@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. What would you have done in that case? I know what I would have done.
I know exactly what I would have done.
Yeah.
Everything else is on hold. You got one priority. Priority numero uno. You do us right.
Yeah. 100. So, we need to get the mood back up. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it down, but I just thought we should bring it up.
Fuck! Spencer, I'm not done with you, man. It's still all love. You have a chance to redeem yourself, all right? Look, Maybe take a good look in the mirror tonight and see what you're made of. Sometimes you got to go out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you got to do what's not comfortable, but you have to do what's right. Do what's right, Spencer. Think about it. Look at yourself in the mirror. Take some time to think about it. Do what's right. Okay?
WWNAFD. What would Nasty and Friends do?
Yes. Absolutely. Fucking knowing us, man.
Yeah.
Shit, we get into that dirty shit. She might have got kidnapped, thrown in the back of the van. Mic's on. Let's go. Here we go.
Yeah, mic's on. We just sit down, open up the laptop, turn it on, plug in the microphone, and record. Hey, so we're here live.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nasty and Friends. She's like, what the fuck is going on? This isn't a rape. No, of course not.
Jesus.
Wait, is that you want that?
Yeah.
Wait, is that?
Can you sign this consent form?
No. This is just a podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we only grab pussies with permission.
Absolutely. We've never wavered on that.
Never wavered. Grab pussies with permission and no hand jobs.
Anti-hand jobs all day since day one. Never wavered on that either.
Oh, man. Fuck.
Shit, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about some sports, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you're a big baseball fan.
I am, yeah. I mean, when I say big, obviously, I've said it before, more of a football fan than anything.
Yeah.
I love the Royals. They're national. Technically, as of October 28th, they're still the world champs. There's no other world champs out there yet. Yeah. But if anybody doesn't know, in the World Series, go ahead.
And I'm going to go ahead and stop you again right there. Because the World Series is on right now,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And you want to know who's playing?
Yeah.
If you don't know who's playing, it's Cleveland and Chicago.
Yeah.
That's not
Chicago
the world.
Cubs, not White Sox.
That's not the world.
No, I agree.
That's mid-America. If it was like Tokyo and Chicago, then
it was like the Little League World Series.
Yeah, they're like world champions. No, you beat Cleveland or Chicago. Like, you're not even playing.
The Continental United States champions is what you should be saying.
We're the world champions of baseball.
Because there's like what? Yeah. There's like what? One Canadian team?
There might be Canadian.
One or two Canadian teams?
So maybe you're the North American. It should be the North American World Series then.
Yeah.
I don't know how good other places are at baseball. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about baseball in general.
Right.
But come on, World Series.
Right.
Just be real with it.
You're right. I
agree
with you.
it.
Well, the Royals are the last champs. They're still technically champs until somebody.
North American champs of baseball.
Yeah. There we go.
They are.
Major League Baseball, MLB.
Yep, MLB.
So. But yeah, so no. Hey, you got a good point, man. Yeah. I understand.
Let's just be real with it.
Yeah,
and let's not get too excited about it either. It's baseball.
We just want to touch base on it. We just want to touch base because we're equal opportunity,
right?
We do talk about all sports. We don't get as passionate about it, but I agree.
Yeah, it's baseball. Last I checked, this was still America.
It's America's pastime.
No, that's football. Marty, that's football. I'm almost 100%, man. Nobody gives a shit about baseball. And all of a sudden now, everybody I know is a Chicago Cubs fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's how it is with every sport all the time. True. So, I mean, it is. I don't know if it's just everybody likes to jump on the bandwagon or if it's just people like just root for their team because now, we're not used to seeing it because if anybody doesn't know, a big thing for the Chicago Cubs is they said that they're cursed because they haven't won a World Series in like 108 years.
Yeah.
And they've been close and they've had some shit happen. Cleveland Indians haven't, I don't know if they have a World Series. Like I said, I'm not that well versed when it comes to stuff like that. So
I thought Charlie Sheen took him to
yeah, Wild Thing?
Yeah,
yeah, you're right. So that was what, in the 90s?
That was in the 90s.
That was in the 90s.
Due, too.
So,
they're due.
Yeah, Roger Dorn, he's in there. Yeah. Serrano.
No, either way, no. And then plus it's the same thing as like, Kansas City and Minnesota. Like, it's a close team. So, for us, it's fair. It's fair to like the Chicago Cubs. And anybody that likes a team that's been sucking for like the same thing. Like, I like the Browns. I'd love to see shitty team like for football.
Right.
I love the Cleveland Browns are like 0-7 I think right now.
Yeah.
I always root for them to win. But but everybody now is a fucking Chicago Cubs fan, and I don't give a shit who wins. It is exciting. I don't watch any baseball,
right?
But I do like that it's two teams that haven't been that do deserve it.
So,
I love seeing
so that's what we're saying. So I mean, the side of the Major League movie, I think the Indians, it's been like 70-something years or whatever.
Yeah.
If you had, I know you don't watch baseball, you don't like baseball. If you had to pick a winner, who would you like to see win?
Fuck, dude, that's a tough question. It's a tough question because the Chicago Cubs are due, and it'd be good for them to win. The Cleveland's due too, and I got to give a big shout out to my main man Matt Hines out in Cleveland.
Shouts out Matt Hines.
He's a big. I mean, he's been in Ohio his whole life, other than his Army time, But so he's a big Ohio State guy. He's a big Cleveland Indian guy.
We'll get to Ohio State.
Yeah.
We got to talk about college football yet, so we'll get to Ohio State.
Yes, we will. He's a big Cleveland Browns fan. Big shouts out to Matt Hines.
And I just say, because they're so bad.
Yeah. Big shouts out to Matt Hines. Shouts out to Brandon. Shouts out to Bobby in Ohio. He's got them listening to the podcast too.
Awesome.
I go back with all them from going to Ohio so much.
Yeah.
He's my old battle buddy. If you guys don't know, but I don't know.
I personally say I would like to see Cleveland win only because the Browns have been so bad at football for so long. The Cleveland Cavaliers just won the NBA championship.
Yeah.
They just got their rings. I think it would be awesome to see one city get two major championships.
That would be cool.
Especially
a shit city like Cleveland. Jesus Christ.
Right.
They got nothing going.
Right. That's the only reason why I say that. If they hadn't won, I honestly could care less.
Yeah.
I would like to see it. If the Cubs win, I still think it's cool because they haven't won in a long time. I also fear for the city of Chicago. If the Cubs don't win, that city will probably burn down.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't, you know what I mean? So I mean, the murders there are already bad enough.
Yes.
The way it is.
Yeah.
So when it comes to them not winning the World Series, and yes, there's another Chicago team, the Chicago White Sox, which I can't remember. They were either in the World Series or they won it like 10-ish years ago. So the city of Chicago hasn't not had a World Series and not too terribly alarmed. But when it comes to the Cubs, people say again, there's a lot of different curses and shit like that.
Yeah.
But so I mean, again, that's just my opinion on the whole ordeal. So
yeah, I guess for me, it's I would like to say Cleveland, only because most everybody I know wants Chicago Cubs to win, and this way I could laugh at people if Cleveland wins, So I don't know, but I think for me it's the same thing as like when I watch the UFC and there's two people who I just want to, if I was watching, I just want whoever wins, like the best fighter wins that day, With baseball, it's a little easier because you get up to best of 7, I believe. Yeah. So, you got a better opportunity you can't just have one shit game or a shit fight or a shit night. So, belays that. But, you know what I mean. So I think whoever plays the best wins, they'll deserve to win. And, but I'm glad both teams are in it. Like when the NFL, it's like, oh, great, the Patriots are in it or whatever. Or in college football, you got Bama in it again. Like anybody but Bama, Let's get somebody new in there, somebody who hasn't been there forever. I'd love to see a Super Bowl with like the Cleveland Browns and like the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars. Why you coughing, my man? Yeah, you get the Chiefs and the Browns or the Jacksonville Jaguars in there.
Yeah,
just to get some teams that haven't been there that are.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Well, I don't know, since I'm obviously I would love to see in baseball because I'm a Royals fan.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs, I would love to see them win. And Spencer, he's another fucking degenerate. I know we shit on him enough earlier. No, we didn't shit on him enough earlier.
No,
but he's a big Chiefs fan too, and we were texting the other day about it. My younger brother, he's a huge Chiefs fan, and so I just and we always have a text group. Since we all have iPhones, you can name your message group, and it's just named Chiefs. And we fucking just group message each other all throughout the games and shit. And I was just I just want to see the Chiefs win a Super Bowl. I would love more than one, but I want one before I die. And I don't want it to eventually be to where the city just gets pissed or they fucking move and stuff. I want the Kansas City Chiefs, which I don't think would happen.
Yeah.
There's not even any rumors about it. But, I mean, fucking teams have been moving, technically in the past 20 years quite a bit.
Yeah.
Seems like. So, I want a fucking championship for the Chiefs. Will it ever happen? Who the fuck knows? You never know what's going to happen. But until fucking Tom Brady retires, who the fuck knows? He's so good.
Fuck that
it's
chick.
Annoying. And his Ugg boots.
Does he wear Ugg boots?
I think so. I don't know if it maybe did once or there's always every time people Photoshop them, they always have the Ugg boots. So
I don't know if this is inappropriate or not, but
it's okay. Say you're in a safe place.
I'm in a safe place. Okay.
Yeah, you're in a safe place.
I think Tom Brady is probably half a fag.
Jesus.
And I don't think anybody would argue that.
Hey, he's married to the top supermodel, and the funny thing is she makes more money than he does.
Yeah, I read that before.
It's ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're not upset by that F word. We were just talking about it earlier, and how when you're joking you can say it, it's funny. But
no, and kind of like the Joe Rogan bit.
Yeah,
I'm not saying fag oh, that's faggy, making fun of. I mean it he likes having butt sex with dudes. I don't.
Right.
Giselle, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's obviously gorgeous, but she looks like she might have a dick. She's got that strong jawline. She's
so
veiny. She might serious. If you saw and she's tall, if you saw her,
she's tall.
If you saw her somewhere, you'd be like, she might have a dick. Serious. She looks.
I don't
mannish.
think so. She's the top supermodel of all time.
Yeah, but she's tall. She's got a fucking
Adam's
apple. She's got a strong jawline. I'm not saying she's not good looking, but she looks like she might be a transvestite.
Yeah.
Or was that? I don't even know what the correct word for that. Transgender. She looks like she has a chick with a dick, maybe. I would be suspicious.
All right.
We had that conversation at work. She looks a little manly. We talked about that. She might have a.
Hey, to each their own, right?
Yeah,
One love.
Tom Brady, whatever. You do what you do, my man. You rock your Ugg boots. You like to suck dicks. I don't judge at all, man. I'm not judging. You do whatever makes you happy. I'm no place to judge. We're in a safe place. You somebody else in the safe place?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Nobody's judging.
Okay, good.
Nobody's judging if they are. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with any of that stuff. I'm just saying. Tom Brady's gay. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not.
I'm 100%. No matter what you do, I'm just saying it's a fact.
It's a fact. It's backed by science.
He's gay.
The cosmos told me once.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, though.
All right, college football.
All right, so, college football, man. It's going fast, dude.
Yeah, the week we're recording this, Nebraska has Wisconsin, in Wisconsin. So Wisconsin's what, 11? And I think they're 11, and the Huskers are 7? I think they jumped up to 7.
Wisconsin, do they got 3 losses? Or 2 losses?
Ohio State.
Michigan.
I think it's just 2. Those are some
I think you're
fucking.
right.
Those are all like top 5 teams.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think you're right. No, they are ranked high.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, they're solid. Mm-hmm. They're deep. Watching them when they played Ohio State. Watching them when they played LSU. What other tough game? They had another tough game. They have one of the toughest schedules in college football this year, I believe.
They're still doing very well.
They're still doing very well. They're solid. They hit hard. They play fucking physical. I'm excited about that. Nebraska, they even 7-0. Yeah, they're getting shit on. They're getting shit on all over the place.
Did you see that Pirates of the Caribbean
meme?
Oh,
I did.
Yeah. It's just like
you're the worst. Heard of us.
Yeah, you're the worst 7-0 team in the nation. So you have heard of us, or whatever it is.
Yeah, it was like you're the worst 7-0 team that anybody's ever heard of, or something like that.
Yeah, whatever the actual
Caribbean
saying is.
Yeah. So,
ladies and gentlemen, do not fact check us.
Yeah, just go with it. Just roll with it. But no, anyway, Nebraska. I love Coach Riley.
Yeah.
I fucking love that dude. He's still second year coaching. He's still getting his players in position. He's great at recruiting. Last year, going into the bowl game, they were 5-6.
5-6.
5-6 or 5-7.
Yeah.
They ended up beating UCLA in the bowl. And then since they lost to Purdue last season, they beat them last week.
Yeah.
Barely. Looked like dog shit. But since then, they've only lost to Purdue. They went on to beat Michigan State.
Yeah. I was at that game, which we've talked about before.
Oh, my God. I was in Des Moines. We were watching that at a bar doing Army shit. But, oh, my God, it was crazy. But, yeah, they went on. They have one loss since then.
Yeah.
So they've 7-8 with the bowl game win. And then I think the last 2 they lost to Iowa. I'm sorry. They lost to Purdue, beat Michigan State, lost to Iowa. I think.
I don't remember.
And then anyway, they're on a streak right now. People say they haven't been tested, and I agree. I mean, Indiana's tough.
Yeah.
Northwestern is always tough. Oregon weren't as tough as people thought they were, but it's still Oregon.
Yeah, because they're 2-5 now.
Yeah, they've been getting their dicks kicked in. Pac-12 soft. I'll tell you right now. Pac-12
which is
soft.
why would you? I mean, you look at the teams there in the Pac-12. They got some fucking good teams.
Yeah.
Like they're not consistently good.
No.
And it's just weird.
Yeah.
Like
they were getting a lot better. The last 2 years, Pac-12 was solid. They were up there with the Big Ten because Oregon was good. Now Washington's scary good. I watched a couple Washington games.
Right.
They're fucking scary good, dude. Stanford's been good this year. They're sucking dicks a little bit. Again, nothing wrong with sucking dicks. I'm just saying. But no, Stanford look like dog shit right now. Washington looks unbelievable. Oregon has been good. UCLA was good. Arizona State were good.
Right.
USC, Cal, most of those schools were looking good this year. USC, I think they're on the rebound. They started off pretty rough. They got their fucking dicks kicked in against Alabama, but who hasn't got their dicks kicked in against Alabama?
Because there was somebody saying that, like Alabama is obviously a clear one, and they're even the number 2 is like a long shot. A lot of people are saying.
I think Ohio State.
Ohio
me,
State.
Who's your top 4 right now? I don't know.
I would say Alabama, Ohio State, even with the loss at Penn State. Every good team's going to have a loss. You're going to have a bad night. I don't think, I think where they I don't remember where they're at now, but where they dropped to is good. I think is.
I don't know where they're at.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I don't think they should have dropped out of the top, far.
No,
I mean, Penn State.
Penn State's unranked, but they're a solid team.
Yeah, it's, shit like that. So Alabama, Ohio State. Michigan or Clemson, to me, you could probably interchange either one of those teams. I don't know the strength of the schedule because I don't really pay attention to that.
Yeah.
But probably whoever had the worst schedule I put in front of the other, I think would be my top 4.
Okay.
Top 5. I don't know. I'm not for sure.
Yeah,
I honestly don't think Nebraska's a top 10 team. They've had some great wins. If they beat If they come out of Wisconsin, Ohio State 1-1, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah,
I think they'd be a top 10 team at that point.
Yeah.
You know, I would say they would. I would say because of the win against Oregon, but Oregon turned out to be not that great this year so far. But I mean, they've won. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still love them. 7-0, 7-0. I'll take the ranking.
Absolutely.
It's just what's going to happen, I feel, because a lot of the analysts and stuff, I feel, have Nebraska up there because they don't have a loss, but once they get a loss, I think they'll drop. I don't think it'll be a 4 or 5 spot drop. Obviously, it depends on what else happens in the country. But I think they'll drop far. Yeah, I really do.
It depends who they lose to and how bad they lose. Yeah, they show up at Wisconsin or Ohio State or both, and they get fucking blown out.
Even if they go 0-2. But they keep it close and make good games second games. I still think that's good. You know, it shows that they can compete back to back with fucking top schools.
Yeah, and they got to play. And, you know, some teams, and that's the thing. Like, you can't really shit on them. Yeah, the players don't have a choice on what the schedule is going to be. They just have to show up and play. But now here's their chance.
Yeah.
They're getting called out. I think this week is tough because you wanted to – I thought they were going to go into Camp Randall at Wisconsin as the underdog, as ranked worse than Wisconsin, we're the underdogs, we got nothing to lose. But now they're going to Camp Randall ranked ahead of Wisconsin.
Yep.
Ranked as
scary.
You know, Wisconsin's like, we're the underdogs. They're coming into our house.
Yeah.
They're going to they have nothing to lose. So that's flipped a little bit. I think it was the other way around. I'd be a lot more confident. Like, shit, Nebraska's nothing to lose here. Nope, wrong. Wisconsin's has the mindset of these motherfuckers, we have to, you know. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. What about your top 4?
My top 4, Alabama and Ohio State, clearly. Yeah. Even with one loss, Ohio State, they're legit.
Because, like I said, you're not.
They're a different level. They're a different level.
Yeah, it's insane. They're gonna win another championship. I hope they have a shit game in the playoffs. Yeah. I'm assuming that they're gonna have the playoffs because I think even if somebody were to upset them, I don't think they would drop out that far. Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alabama just looks so good. I mean, looking at games like they played Ole Miss, and Ole Miss kept it close, and then Bama ran away. Tennessee, I've been watching Tennessee all year because
they've been fucking exciting. Damn, they've been exciting.
And then Alabama pretty much raped Tennessee.
Yeah.
A&M was undefeated. Tennessee's only loss was to A&M, right?
No.
A&M's only loss was to Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Both of those teams got raped by Alabama. Alabama is fucking legit.
Yeah, A&M kept it close for a while.
Yeah.
They did. I mean, really, I was checking the score. They were up in the second half at some point. Yeah. And then fourth quarter, well, big gulps, huh?
Yeah, big gulps. See you later. Ohio State's the same way. I think they're legit. Michigan, I don't know their strength of schedule, but I think they're legit. With the ACC, I think they're not on I don't even think they're as good as the Pac-12. I don't think they're even close. Yeah. I think Clemson and Louisville, they look really good. Florida State, I think they're actually 12th, and they play Clemson this weekend. So the winner of that,
that's where game day is, isn't it?
It probably is. The goddamn North Carolina State had fucking Clemson at home. All the field goal kicker missed 3 field goals. The last one would have been the game winner as time expired. That motherfucker shit the bed. That motherfucker is a fucking asshole. Went into overtime, they lost. But Clemson and Louisville, I think they do look pretty solid, but they're no Ohio State. They're no Alabama. I think they play any of those teams in the playoffs, they're getting shut the fuck down.
Yeah.
That's just how I see it. I think even if they play Michigan, they're going to get shut the fuck down.
Yeah.
Michigan's a scary team. They play Michigan State this weekend, and after the upset last year where Michigan State fucking pulled that upset at the end, one of the best endings of football I've ever seen in my life.
It was phenomenal.
Michigan's going to be out for blood. Michigan State has been getting fucked up. I mean, they lost to Indiana, then they lost to Northwestern. I think they might be on a 3-game skid.
Something about, I mean, it's a huge rivalry. It's in-state rivalry. Yeah. You can never count out rivalry games. No matter who's injured, doesn't fucking matter. You can never count them out.
That's true.
It's insane.
So Michigan State, they're going to be, both teams are going to play. It's a rivalry. I think Michigan's going to roll, but Michigan State could be bouncing back.
Yeah.
Michigan State looked really good when they beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame, and then Notre Dame turned out to be a pile of dog shit. They're like 2-5. People love Notre Dame. I'm surprised they're still not in the top 10, being 2-5. But they had a bye week last week.
2-5, not the top 5. It's so true.
Yeah, fuck Notre Dame.
That's like the team that everybody's like, oh, you gotta watch out for Notre Dame this year. Watch out for them every year, and they just don't step up. Which is fine by me because I don't like them either.
They have some of the best recruits every year. They're in the top 10 as far as recruits. And then they have a pretty soft schedule usually. They got some soft games coming up with like Army and Navy, you know. But even them, Army and Navy,
Dude,
are really
Navy's
good this
been
year.
fucking legit. I'm worried about the Army and Navy game because they're fucking bomb, and Army has lost how many fucking years in a row?
It's been over a decade now.
Yeah, like 13, 14.
Army actually this year they look really
good.
They
haven't been too bad. So I'm hoping. When is that game?
It's usually around December 10th.
Yeah.
December 11th, 10th, I don't know whatever that Saturday is, right around there.
Yeah, I always try to watch that game. So
I love the opening ceremonies for that, the flyover.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I think Nebraska absolutely has a shot against Wisconsin. They absolutely have a shot against, and like I was saying, some teams, they play at the level of the opponent. So they've played some ugly games, they played some shitty games, but they won.
Right.
And then when they play better competition, maybe it makes them play better. Hopefully, if they lose, hopefully it's a shootout and it's a close game.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't look like dog shit.
Well, what happened last time they fucking played Wisconsin?
Yeah.
The guy ran for 400 yards.
Oh yeah.
Like 80 touchdowns, whatever the fight. It was embarrassing.
Absolutely embarrassing.
So, I'll be doing my part coaching, sit from the couch, drinking.
Absolutely.
So, because as always, we do with every usually podcast. It's a podcast weekend, so hopefully we're going to be getting them out. Somebody was asking me again today, or I was telling somebody last weekend that we, again, to mention it here live, or not really live, but fuck, you know what I mean. That we should have a podcast out every week up until I think the last weekend in December.
Yes.
And then after that, we're probably have to go back to prison calls for a while because New Year, my son will be here at the end of January. So, but still gonna be pumping out. We're gonna have some good material. We got some fucking phenomenal guests set up.
Yeah, dude.
So we're gonna be dropping those tomorrow. So the podcast dropping 2 weeks from today. It might be a little messy because that's the one we're gonna be. We were not going to start recording until after the Husker game.
That's right.
So we'll probably start off talking, I'm sure, depending on how that game goes. Yeah. We may talk about it for fucking half the podcast. We may talk about it for fucking 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But it's going to get a little messy, I feel.
Let me talk about the weekend. We've gone this far into the podcast. We haven't brought up food yet. People are probably my God. I thought this was a cooking show.
Yeah. Well, you know why? It's because the food was so fucking good, and we do what we always do, and we fucking overeat.
I'm still full.
Yeah, exactly. So we had to. But it is. You're right. It is. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, sorry. It is our apology. I think you were going to bring it up, and we just fucking got to something else. So.
This is still a cooking show. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. All right? So, anyway, big weekend. Like my man Pagnasty said, we're recording all weekend. We're going to have shit coming out every Friday for about 2 months. But so my man's in town. We have guests coming the next few days. Multiple shows planned, multiple guests planned. We got a Halloween-themed podcast coming up. Kind of sucks because we'll be recording that. But by the time the Halloween podcast comes out, it'll be like a week or two after Halloween.
Right.
But we hope we get some scary stories on there. We already got a couple stories planned. We will be in costume. I know you guys can't see it. But just know we will be boned up.
Yeah, we'll be putting it out on Instagram and shit. Yeah. We'll probably wait until we drop the episode, like you said, it's gonna be almost Thanksgiving time. It'll be a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving when that drops. But it's gonna be it's gonna be great.
Right.
Probably a drunk cast, I would assume.
Yeah.
But,
hopefully, it depends on the game. We might be belligerent,
Yeah. Well, depending on the game, if it's a blowout, when the Huskers are just blowing out the Badgers there, they're up by a shit ton. We may start the podcast early.
Yeah. Once Nebraska gets
do
up
some
by
live commentary.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, so today I woke up, I had the day off. I'm excited because my man's coming into town, and we got guests coming all to BDC Studios all weekend. So I fired up the smoker. Last night I prepped, my girlfriend prepped 10-pound pork butt. Pork ass. And we prepped a pretty small brisket. It was about 8 pounds, which the last one we had was like 17 pounds, so we cut it in half, cooked the flat and point separate. This time we just cooked the whole thing. It was about 8 pounds. So I smoked a brisket, and I smoked the pork butt. The brisket got done earlier. Could not wait before the podcast. We're getting into this brisket, man. And we have to smash that. We had some sides. So, but tomorrow, we're going to be, later on tonight, I'll be shredding that pork butt. It's out of the smoker now. We'll be shredding that. We'll be eating that tomorrow with some cowboy beans with jalapenos, of course, and bacon in there, and some other seasonings in there.
And you're going to show me collard greens.
Yeah.
You're going to show me, because I don't, like, you've asked me, and I don't think officially that I've had them,
Shit,
which I
man.
might have just not knowing it, but I'm fucking excited.
So collard greens are soul food.
Yeah.
Or southern style food. It's a green leaf, almost like a turnip or a spinach. I don't know what the difference is, but it's a collard green. They're kind of dirty. You got to scrub them, wash them, and then you cook them down with usually something smoked. So we're gonna put bacon in it, and we're gonna put the bone from the pork ass in it. Excuse me. Camus only made it one other time, and it was fucking great.
Yeah.
You cook it down with a bunch of she puts magic in it. I don't remember what else she put in it last time.
Love.
Some chicken stock.
Kisses.
Yeah, loves kisses. But yeah, she'll put some chicken broth in there, some spices, and then of course the pork ass bone, some bacon, and we're gonna cook that down for a few hours, and it's fucking magic. You'll love that. We're gonna make some mac and cheese.
Yeah.
We're gonna make some mac and cheese with some sharp cheddar and a lot of Gouda, and then we're gonna do the cowboy beans with just regular, almost like bush beans, but we're gonna put bacon in it. We put jalapenos in it, brown sugar, barbecue sauce. So we're gonna have a bunch of sides. We're gonna have a bunch of meat to eat. We're gonna have
I was full until you started talking. Now I'm getting hungry again.
Got some oatmeal scotchies being made right now.
Oh my god, Scotch is it's gonna be fucking great.
Yeah, so it's gonna a big weekend. We're gonna be wearing costumes tomorrow. We're gonna do a podcast. We're gonna watch some football. We're gonna
our guests, we told them our guests gonna be dressing up in costumes. We don't know what we're dressing up.
Nope.
We know, but we don't know what each other's are.
I don't know.
So,
I don't know what my man Pagnasty is gonna be rocking tomorrow. He doesn't know what I'm going to be wearing. I guarantee you, though, we're both going to be hard in our pants.
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
Right. And there's no way to prove that. We can take that to Instagram. It's going to get flagged, ladies and gentlemen. So, really, there's no way to... Honor system. I'll tell you, if I get hard, I'll let them know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, it should be a great weekend. We're excited. It feels so good to be back in BDC Studios with my man. Because I said, today is October 28th. So we haven't been in BDC Studios since August 13th and 14th. So It's been a while. Prison calls are fun. It's not the same thing as sitting across from you.
No.
So I wanted to get into, we got the whole vibe going. BDC Studios is lit. We're lit. We got guests coming in all weekend. And we're talking about it now. So as you're hearing this, while you're listening to it, know that the next week after this, and the week after this, and the week after this, we're going to be pumping out heat. We got some special guests coming. Some new, some returning. It's very exciting. But before we go any further, I want to get into some one of our favorite parts of of our podcast.
Yeah, which is our Q&A. We don't have many because you fucks have to send some in. We have some people who always send stuff in. It's appreciated. Yeah. I know it's a lot to type something out and send it to nastyandfriends@gmail. You probably don't know what to say. I get it. We're asking you to do work. I apologize, but we can't have this section without the question.
And it's one of our favorite sections. Dude, you go ahead and set it up. I'm going to go make yellow. I'll be
okay,
right back.
all right. Yeah, again, guys, like I said, it is one of our favorite sections. Just type us a question. Like I said, anything that you want to know. It could be funny. It could be silly. Speaking of Q&A, I did have some people tell me the other day, because I always like to get feedback when I see you nasties in person about, you guys liking the podcast, how are you enjoying it, stuff like that. And somebody told me, they're like, I'm enjoying it, but that question about killing those kids, it got a little dark for me. So I just looked at him and said, good, we don't try to offend everybody, or we don't try to offend certain people. We try to offend everybody. So I get it, man. We go down the rabbit hole a lot, especially when you're not in your straight mind here. So, but it's good. I've said it a million times. I love just conversations. This is how we would be talking if the microphone wasn't out. I've heard that question before because we've had that conversation before. I'm just saying one of my favorite parts of Q&A when I told people, said with the kids, it got a little dark for them. We're answering that question. I hadn't seen you, or I hadn't told you about it. So, I was just saying, we're not here to offend, one person. We're here to offend everybody. But it is. We love it. So, please keep sending them in. No matter if you think it's stupid. If you want to ask us about something about quantum physics, we'll answer it. We'll answer it. We're not saying it's backed up by science or anything. So, but we sure will try it out for you. Absolutely. But, all right. Well, now that Spicy's back, he's making a drink. Let's get to, how many questions do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5.
All right.
5 questions. So we could probably get them all done here.
Yeah.
So, all right. This is from Joey. Joey, all right. Shouts out, Joey. Appreciate you. It said, if you had Tourette's syndrome and yelled a phrase every time you had... I don't know why you have to have Tourette's for this, but again, if you had Tourette's syndrome and you yelled a phrase every time you had sex/came, what would your phrase be? So again, we'll just say you don't have to have Tourette's. So I don't know if you're looking like to me because they say fuck and stuff. Yeah. Speaking of which, sidebar before we get into that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the guy who has Tourette's? He has a YouTube channel and he reads the poem Three Blind Mice.
No.
Write it down. We'll watch it after this, dude. It's not like he legit has Tourette's. Like he reads kids what are the nursery rhymes?
Yeah.
To help bring awareness. It's funny as shit.
All right.
So anyway, if you haven't looked, just type in Tourette's Three Blind Mice. It'll come up. The guy, it's funny. So just assuming every time you came or had an orgasm, if you had a phrase, what would it be? And the only one that comes to mind right away is what we talked about. Is what Joe Rogan talks about on Triggered during his Texas part.
Yeah.
With the women, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want to give the line away, but for people watching it, that's the only thing that comes to mind here. That is a good fucking question. I like that you sent it in sex questions, Joey.
Yeah,
you know
Joey.
where your mind is at. So
You sick fuck. I love it, man.
I don't know, like maybe just like the current, like what's going on the internet.
But,
the current big memes.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I'd love to, like what's big now is, of course, grab her by the pussy and something like that.
Right.
But can it change?
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was going to say. Like, for me, it would be changing. Like, whatever
right, that's
on the internet.
exactly. Whatever it's
in
current,
this scenario,
what's trending?
we'll say. Yeah. I mean, in my one case, it would be here.
Because
Like,
if it's something that it's got to be forever, you can't say something that's hot
you
now.
can't be like, oh, R.I.P. Harambe.
Right.
And you're like 80 years old.
Yeah.
People are like, what? Like,
Yeah,
unless you're
absolutely.
having sex with another 80-year-old, they might laugh because they might get it. But I don't plan on having sex with other 80-year-olds.
I would, if it was something that I had to
Permanent,
it would be something like, I win, or like I won,
Yeah.
something like that. But if it was something that
R.I.P. 245. JPEG's be like, what? Stop.
Yeah,
That was our old Army unit that's no longer in existence for people who don't know. The 245th. But yeah, something stupid like that, I think, would be, here comes the pain!
or something just silly like
Be like Mike!
SpaghettiOs. Like it was an accident. It's always an accident every time I come.
You know what the worst
Like, oh
part
no,
is?
not again!
The worst part about this whole fucking thing is next time I have sex, this conversation will pop into my mind, and I'll probably just start laughing. It's gonna be fucking awful, but funny at the same time. So
Why?
I mean, it probably won't be for like a year. But
I'm gonna say the question I have is, why would you be having sex now when JPEGs is pregnant?
oh no,
You can't make another baby while she's pregnant.
That's
so
true.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, you're true. Well, I guess in the question you did say orgasm, so maybe next time. Well, no, because that you technically can't jerk off either. So
Because in the Bible,
in
the Bible, sex is for making babies, right?
Yeah.
If you're married to somebody and they're pregnant, I guess you're not the right person to ask biblical questions, I guess.
Right.
That's something I want to find out. Like, if your wife is pregnant, can you have sex with her? Right? Or does God say no? Like, you can't have
I think it does say in the Bible that you can't have sex with her while she's on her period.
You can't?
Can't.
Well, that's smart.
Which is which is probably some good advice, but I'm just saying that is a good question. I mean, well, technically, you can't have sex unless you're married.
You can't have sex unless you're married. You're only supposed to have sex, I believe, to make babies.
Right.
It's not for pleasure. And
ladies and gentlemen, this is not a joke.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah,
I don't know anything. I'm not religious. I don't know anything about the Bible, but I'm pretty sure it says sex is only for procreation. So if your old lady is pregnant, are you allowed to have sex? I don't know. I don't believe in that, but I'll tell you right now, I think it's bullshit. But
wait. Point out the plot holes.
there's some sketchy things.
Yeah.
Like people coming back to life. It's sketchy.
Have one or two questions.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. Adam and Eve, that's weird.
It happens.
Yeah.
You know what? Some of us don't believe in that. Some of us like The Walking Dead. Some of us don't. What are you gonna do?
I believe The Walking Dead is a way more plausible story than the Bible. I get serious. It sounds like a joke like that. Like a virus could happen. Some of that shit is a lot more realistic than the Bible. But that might be offensive. It's
your opinion.
Honest.
It's your opinion,
I'm in a safe
man.
place.
Like, we're adults. You're in a safe place. If we can't have a conversation, if
Right.
somebody can't have a different opinion than you and you not like them, I don't want to be friends with you anyway.
Well, shit, I got my First Amendment rights. And if you don't believe that, I got my Second Amendment rights.
It's
You
like,
son of a bitch.
it's like, Mike, back up, Mike. So, but
I'm gonna stick with
spaghetti. That's fucking.
I'm gonna stick with I was gonna say, oh no, not again. But I think I'm gonna.
Solid though.
Is it?
Yeah, I love it. Not
It's
it's just like it's shame. It brings on shame. Just not. You ever had those jerk sessions where as soon as you climax, you're like, "What the?
Yeah,
Why?
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah,
So
not again in Walgreens."
going back real quick, and you were like, you hate when you do this, but I have to do this.
Yeah, dude.
Louis C.K. and
I don't hate when I do it.
No.
I just think other people hate when I do it.
Louis C.K. says in his bit, he says you could judge a person's character by how soon they jerked off after 9/11.
Yeah,
and he said,
I forgot about
and
that.
he says he jerked off between the buildings falling. He's like, I know the rest of you stand-up citizens waited at least a week because that's what you do.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, that's
so
fucking
brilliant.
funny.
So brilliant.
All right, so
Jesus.
me, final answer. Oh, no, not again.
I know, I'll stick with RIP 245.
Solid answer.
Oh,
Joey, let us know. Great question.
He always comes with the heat.
He comes with heat.
Ever since we made fun of him for that one fucking bitch-ass question,
Yeah.
he hasn't turned back. I like it.
People don't ask enough sex questions. Like, I'm not saying we're sex experts.
No.
But we've
But
had
let's
sex.
be honest,
We've had
Nasty
sex
and Friends-
at least once a piece.
At least once a piece.
Because I got a daughter and you got a son on the way.
Yeah,
so
at least
there's
once.
proof.
Yeah,
We've
absolutely.
had sex before. Not with each other.
No. Well, depends on what you mean by each other.
Right. Well, it depends on what you mean by sex.
Don't get it twisted, folks. This is a cooking show and a sex show.
We're sex. We will give you your sex advice. We will give it to you for free. Send your questions in. We'll let you. We'll fucking come to you. You want us to come to your fucking kids' elementary school and teach sex ed? Talk to the dean. Talk to the.
Gotta
teacher.
give us another year when
Give
we're
us a
allowed
head-
within 500 feet
Yeah.
of the school.
Give us a heads up. I gotta, get a slideshow ready. But yeah, we will give you as much sex advice as you can handle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. Good question.
Great question, Joey. God damn. All right, next question.
All right. Let's open it up.
This next question is from Joey.
Oh, shit.
If you could do only one drug for the rest of your life, what would it be? It doesn't matter if it's illegal or prescription only. It can be anything. Laws are still the same, but assume you get a presidential pardon to do your one drug wherever and whenever.
Oh, shit.
Joey. So any drug you could do for the rest of your life, what would it be?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't get it twisted. This show is a cooking show,
It is a cooking show and
a sex show, and a drug show.
We will give you advice on drugs.
Well, first off, let's play the question, what is a drug?
Right.
If we're going to base it down there, obviously, like, you could say sugar's a drug. It's addictive.
Anything that changes your, I can't remember the definition. Like anything that changes your behavior or
mental state.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I would
Assuming
say caffeine would be in there, alcohol,
Right.
Tylenol, or acetaminophen.
Okay. Well, it wouldn't be caffeine, even though I do love coffee. I don't really drink much caffeinated coffee, but I could because I just put creamer and shit in it anyway. Yeah. I haven't done many drugs, I guess, when it comes to that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I love alcohol. I love weed. I would say... I would probably say weed or marijuana for you scientific fucks.
Okay.
Just because, I do love drinking, but it's just the older I get, it's just harder on the body and shit like that. So if I'm gonna look out, because clearly I look out for my health now, but look out just think it's going to get better and better, and especially like I don't really see it as a drug. I do see it as medicine. That's a whole different conversation that we don't have to get into, but that's how I see it. So if you want to still consider it a drug, the fact that it's still fucking class 1 rated is a fucking crime in itself. Feel like that. So that's what I would choose. I've never done any psychedelics. I want to. Okay. I know that's maybe bad to say.
No,
I do. Well, for some people, like they don't want to hear it because they don't talk about it.
Right.
I would do mushrooms. I wouldn't, because one, you can't die from mushrooms. You can't overdose on mushrooms. But I would. You hear about bad trips and stuff, but I think I'm in a good state of mind. I wouldn't, like at 30 or almost 30, I'll be 30 in December. I'm in a good state of mind. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it and like get behind a wheel, shit like that. I would go out. A lot of people like to do it out in the woods because they like get that energy. Yeah. But I would like to melt reality and try it. There's 100%. I'd make sure I just try to be safe as possible with somebody that I love that can maybe watch me or something. Yeah. But I would like Joe, and part of it is because podcasts. Like I used to be, and we're going off a tangent here. I hope you're okay down this rabbit hole.
Absolutely.
I used to be against drugs when I was younger a lot. Like, not that I hated it. Like, my best friend in high school, couple of them, they would smoke weed. I was around them. I never did it. I didn't smoke weed until I was 27 for the first time in my life. And and not that I hated it at all. Like, I was okay to be around it. I know, like, when we got our house with Rob and Harris and stuff, like we worked with a bunch of people who smoked pot. We never allowed it at our house. Like just go out to your car, come back, and we don't want you to bring anything else in here. Yeah. I've never done coke. I'll never do it. I have a very addictive personality, so I think it would be bad. But I didn't drink till I was 21, and now like I love drinking, and so I think I have like a kind of a good connection when it comes to weed. Like for me. As I've said before, my dad had passed away of cancer, and I was back home one night helping my mom out. I had a job where I had Thursday, Sundays off, and my mom's take care of him around the clock because he needed it, and so I tried to help her get her some sleep, and he was just fucking pumping full of morphine. All that morphine and OxyContin, they always say is really, I think OxyContin's like one molecule off of being heroin.
Oh my God, it's
like
horrible for you.
Like it's legal heroin.
Yeah,
I've done OxyContin because I had knee surgery when I was in high school, so I've had it. Yeah. I know what it makes you feel like, and it's great, but you easily get addicted, and that wrecks your system too. Oh yeah. So, but anyway, I was back helping my dad. He's just getting pumped full of morphine as much as he can handle, and he's just in pain. I mean, he had cancer everywhere. He's just screaming. And I was like, fuck. And I've seen weed before. I'd never touched it, broken down. I'm like, and he had weed. Yeah, we were trying everything. And I was like, fuck it, you're smoking tonight. And he's like, I don't want you to be upset. I'm like, I'm not going to be upset, but you got to fucking handle it. Like, I don't know what else to do. Yeah. We can't legally do anything else. Yeah. Which I guess technically smoking weed's illegal at our state as of right now. But I bought him this pipe. He's big hunters. He taught me how to hunt. I bought him this pipe, and it was made out of a deer antler. So like the base of the deer antler was the bowl, and then it was a copper pipe that was covered in rattlesnake skin, and then the mouthpiece was another part of the deer antler, and I just had a little screen in it, just like a pipe, and then it had the rattlesnake's vertebrae attached to it with beads and stuff. So I got him that. I just fucking broke it down, what I thought I've seen before. Yeah. No fucking handle. He's like, thanks, man. He fucking took 2 fucking huge hits, blew it out, or how you smoke. I don't fucking need to explain it to you guys. And it's fucking passed out like within 5 to 10 minutes. Damn. So to see that, the fact that he's just pumped full of these meds and he still wants to die because he's in so much pain. 2 hits of this fucking weed. I mean, granted, because like weed intensifies things. If you're drunk, you smoke weed, you're gonna feel drunker. From what I hear, if you do mushrooms, you smoke weed to chase it, it's gonna intensify that. Yeah. So like, of course, it probably just intensified what was already in the system. But still, there's other times where he wasn't pumping as much, and we would give him that, and he'd pass out. I've seen what it does firsthand. Right. So to tell me that it's stupid and it's not medical release, I'm not going to believe you because I know what I've seen. Right. And so for me, like seeing that, listening to all the podcasts and like was about, I decided that it's not bad for you because I was a dare kid, you know, and I teach you like, tell anybody it's bad for you and all this stuff. Yeah. And to find out you've been lied to as a kid the whole time, if somebody wants to look down on me now for smoking weed, I don't want you in my life anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I don't like tweet about it, like all this, and I don't like, we're in a safe place here. Absolutely. You know what I mean? You're absolutely in a safe place. So like, I don't care for me personally, but I don't do it. I don't fucking get behind a wheel, and so I don't have to explain myself to you. I'm just saying, to answer the question, that's where I would be with it. Again, not lacking doing any psychedelics, which I would love to try.
Yeah. No, dude, I love that answer. I love the story. I knew the story. There was no way I was going to cut you off because I love the story.
Right.
I wanted to hear it again, and then I want for people who haven't heard that story by your dad to hear the story. I'm completely on the same page, and we talk about this a lot. Like, I do research on marijuana. I don't love marijuana. I don't smoke a lot of marijuana. I have tried it. I do like it. I don't give a shit about me. If I never smoked marijuana again in my life, it wouldn't bother me one bit.
Right.
I don't, you know what I mean? But I watch shows on TV and on YouTube, and Sanjay Gupta's thing opened up my eyes. The 3-part series he had on CNN.
Yeah.
What it does for kids with epilepsy and that has seizures and other things. Pretty much marijuana. And there might be people that look down on you for that, and I'm not even gonna say they're assholes or anything. I would just say just look into it a little bit, because you get brainwashed. You get brainwashed, not brainwashed, but you get lied to. You know what I mean? So
and it's 2016. That's the worst.
Most people.
Part
no. Now you have the internet. Now you see what's going on, and you see marijuana is a plant. It's a legit plant, and it really does help people. You know what I mean? So for me, I want to see marijuana get legal. And the big thing for me about, and we're going to get deep a little bit, hopefully that's okay. The big thing for me is make marijuana legal to stop locking people up in jail. There's people that are in jail for marijuana.
Non-violent crime.
And then that's one of the whole things about like race relations in America, where studies show everybody does marijuana at the same rate. A lot of people do marijuana.
Like race-wise, you're talking.
Yeah, race-wise, a lot of people do marijuana. But black people are 4 times as likely to get arrested and get caught with marijuana because they're getting searched and they're getting patted down. It's unfair. But people shouldn't be in jail for a plant. So let's make it illegal. Let's make it legal so that people are not going to jail for marijuana. And then let's make it legal medically so people could use that. And we've said this before. The people that the partnerships for a drug-free America, they are ran by alcohol companies and pharmaceutical companies that are making tons of money from, like you talked about, OxyContin. They're making money from OxyContin and codeine and all these others. That is very addictive, very fatal. When they came out, I was watching some show, and they said they took one quote from one show that wasn't even from a doctor that said, a small percentage of people will get addicted to OxyContin. They were way off. So many people get addicted to that, and now it's so expensive on the street. Now people are going to heroin. So they're doing heroin because
it's like
they can't
one
get a hold of
molecule
OxyContin.
off.
It's so close. It's so dangerous. People have died. People die every single day in America from drug overdoses, from narcotics, from opioids like that. And those are the people that are like, nope, we got to keep weed illegal because even the players in the NFL and other people, everybody's speaking out now. Actors and people who have voices that people listen to.
Yeah.
You know, me and you could talk about. Marijuana is not bad, and
but who are we? I mean, to other people.
No,
who don't
people
know.
are gonna. We don't fucking know you. Like for me, and I've said this before, being a fireman and having, I hate to say it, cops that are friends of mine.
Yeah.
Fuck police, but I know like friends, people who are family, cops in the family. I've never been on, working 10 years in emergency services. Never been on a call where anybody has been on marijuana. You can't overdose and die from marijuana. No. You can overdose and have a bad day, have a bad night.
Yeah, and I think I've said this too.
And you can freak out, but you cannot die.
Yeah, like when you said this, the LD50 rate, which is like lethal dose at half of what it is.
Yeah.
Like the LD50 for weed is you would have to smoke 1,500 pounds of weed in less than 15 minutes, which
impossible.
is physically impossible.
Right. But you could take one too many OxyContins, die. You could go to the gas station down the street. You can go to any gas station in our city and buy enough liquor to kill yourself just like that, and you could drink 2 bottles and you could kill yourself. Marijuana, you can't do it. And I love alcohol. We're drinking alcohol right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is our culture, and it's okay. They're like,
but we're not saying get rid of it either.
Right, but they're saying, in our culture, it's like, you can do cake stands, get drunk, have fun. It's your 21st birthday. Go get drunk, get fucked up. Just don't drive. But alcohol, it will fuck you up.
Yeah.
It fucks up your body. It makes you do bad decisions sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like...
you could die from alcohol. And I'm not saying ban alcohol, but I'm saying marijuana is...
Right.
It's medicine.
Yeah.
If you're trying to relax, you could drink a couple drinks of whiskey. And it could help you sleep. But that's not good for your body.
Right.
Where marijuana is not bad for your body.
Yeah,
It's
right.
actually better to smoke a joint than drink a couple glasses of whiskey.
Yeah.
It helps. And so so my thing is, don't make it illegal. And then make it good for medical. And I know people are going to be like, yeah, but what about people are just going to say they got glaucoma or whatever? Whatever. I don't give a shit. There's people that really need it. There's kids with seizures, and they have doctors and scientists that are like, with it being Schedule 1, they're like, we can't even do the tests necessary. It's so hard to do tests because it's Schedule 1.
It's the most it's the biggest crime out there in my opinion. It's disgusting. And like you used to like people talk like this back in the 50s, 60s, and they were just huge hippies, whatever.
Right.
But now like you said, the birth of the internet, people are waking up.
People are waking up like, wait a minute, like this is actually good for you. So recreational, I think some places have that, and it's great for their economy.
Oh yeah.
Other places are getting there right now. It's voting season. Thank God it's almost over. But there's a lot of places that are voting on medical marijuana and other issues. But no, make it good for medical. Make it
good for like everybody, not just people who want to smoke, people who want to grow it. Like,
right,
like
absolutely.
I think they're trying to pass it recreational in California, but a lot of people say don't vote on it because it's just going to make like big corporate.
Right.
Like where they can control everything and you can still get in trouble for growing it and stuff. That shouldn't.
Fuck that. That's bullshit.
Agreed.
And that's just because companies like Marlboro and whatever, Anheuser-Busch, these big companies are like, well, yeah,
they
we don't want it, but
hundreds
if
of
it's
thousands
legal,
of dollars.
we want in on that. We want to corner this market.
Yeah.
So
they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for like what was it? I think there's a new pain pill. I heard it on the Rogan podcast a couple times. It's like fentanyl. Does that sound right? No, that doesn't sound right.
Fentanyl is real, but that's like a really strong. Fentanyl is like a strong version of morphine.
Okay, yeah, so maybe that's what it is. But it's like the company that runs that and stuff.
Okay,
they spent like $500,000 in anti-weed, like not propaganda, but like weed propaganda to try to get it so that doesn't pass it. Like that's just
because
like,
it's gonna kill their fucking business.
Exactly, and it's fucking criminal, man.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Like people don't. There's people that don't want to do that. There's even the NFL. I was watching NFL. The HBO Sports.
Yeah.
And the guys were like, look, we live in pain. We always have pain because of their job, and it's understandable. Yeah. They're colliding bodies. And they're saying, like, yeah, I don't want to take the shit that could kill me, that's addictive. I could smoke a joint and feel so much better and just feel like it's medicine. It really is medicine. And some people will hear that and be like, bullshit. Just research that. Like, we're not fucking with you. But yeah, it is medicine. And eventually one day, it's going to take longer in our state, but eventually one day it's going to be legal for all that.
We'll be the last state,
and we'll be looking back at this and thinking how they were locking people up for this. Like, I think something you could grow if they were locking people up and telling people they were bad people, and
it's
embarrassing.
Example, Jesse Ventura, the Body Ventura, he was the governor of Minnesota, and he was on Joe Rogan's podcast here recently, and just because he's promoting his new book about legalizing marijuana, and
I gotta listen to that one. I like that guy.
Dude, it's fucking. I have way more respect for him after listening to that. Seriously,
Even
not that
Predator?
I didn't.
After Predator, you should have been like, that's my fucking dude.
Not that I didn't like him, but I'm just saying you need to listen to it.
Okay.
But he told this story about like. He pardoned somebody in Minnesota who, this guy who went to jail, and I don't remember how long he was in jail for before he got released or what his sentence was, but his sister was in the DARE program, and they had said, like, if you see any of this, turn him in right away. That's one of their things.
Right.
So she saw that he had this weed, her brother, so she called the cops, because again, that's what she was taught. She was younger. And when the cops got there, they didn't need a warrant because the kid was in there and let him in. They fucking found it in his room after his sister did that. And it could have been life. I don't know how much he had, but it could have either been life in prison or like an insane amount. And the body like gave him a pardon, But the sister's not to blame. She didn't know. She was young, probably 5th or 6th grade. She did what she thought was right. You just hear that shit, it just makes you sick. Like to me, it does. Like I feel like, sister snitched, but like to do that, and then he has to do all of this because he fucking has medicine. You're not gonna bust in and be like, oh, you have too many. Fucking Oxycontin, just because you have a prescription. Like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, no, that's scary, man. And then moving on to psychedelics. I don't know much about psychedelics. I've never tried mushrooms, but what I hear about it, like that's shit that's been around for hundreds of years. Like Native Americans, people in South America, people in Asia, they've been doing it, and that's part of their medicine. That's part of their rituals. It's part of their religious rituals. You can get into ayahuasca, you can get into DMT, you can get into mushrooms, you can get into a lot of those psychedelics. And that's something else that's from some of that shit is synthetic. I don't know much about it. Some of that's synthetic, and it could be bad for you. I don't know. But the stuff like the mushrooms, it's stuff the natural stuff, that's good for you. Even if you want to talk about like MDA, ecstasy, Molly, whatever you want to call it, they're doing tests for MDA to help people with PTSD.
Fuck yeah, and it's helping at crazy rates.
And it's helping at crazy rates. So I'm not against that either. What I am against is hard drugs, illegal drugs like cocaine and heroin. I'm not saying I've never done cocaine. Cocaine is amazing. But I'm against like the painkiller drugs that they're giving out for everything, and that's getting people addicted, and it's making the pharmaceutical companies so much money, but it's hurting people, it's killing people, it's causing addictions. I'm against that, and I'm against heroin, and I'm against cocaine.
Yeah. I would still go as far as I still think they should be legal. Because I think they should, like, go, like, if somebody wants to go do that. You know what I mean? Because they're doing it anyway. It's not like you're going to, in my opinion, you're not going to legalize cocaine and then somebody who hasn't done it's going to be like, I'm going to do cocaine for the first time because it's legal.
Right.
I mean, the percent, they would have done it anyway, in my opinion. The percentage, even if that's the case, would be so small. So I think that if you can go somewhere where you can be watched, you can be helped, I think would be better.
And that brings up 2 points for me. One is, like, so for opiates and narcotics, emergency medicine, we push Narcan.
Yeah.
Which blocks, like, your receptors, and it brings you out of your overdose or your high immediately.
Yeah.
So we push it slow. And you can usually tell with the pinpoint pupils, difficulty breathing. You could push Narcan, and if I pushed it on you right now, and obviously you're not on narcotics, it wouldn't do anything to you. No bad effects. There's no like contraindications for taking Narcan. You can push it on anybody, and it's part of a code. If somebody's unconscious, or if somebody's CPR in progress, that's one of the things you push Narcan as a precaution. The guys on my squad, they did that. There was a guy in his car. He had a bunch of patches on, evidently. I don't know if it was Dilaudid or morphine or one of those, but they didn't know he had the patches on. The engine crew that showed up started CPR. Medic crew got there. They don't know. They started CPR, intubated, started breathing. Went down their list, whatever. Epinephrine, atropine, pushed Narcan. Dude came out of it. Dude came back to life. He was actually talking on the way back to the hospital, which usually for a code that doesn't happen. You could bring a pulse back, bring breathing back, but usually they don't start talking.
Right.
Came to the station, bro, like
Jesus.
Says like, hey, you guys.
Did he ever say what he was on? Or?
No, he had he had too many patches on. He overdosed on
whatever he was
on
prescribed,
morphine, like a Dilaudid or whatever the patch was.
Fuck. So it was totally legal of what he did.
But Narcan. So anyway, Narcan is a thing where if you push it on someone that doesn't need it, nothing bad happens.
Right.
But if you push it on somebody with an opiate overdose, usually it brings them back. Because like if you take too much of an opiate, like a morphine or any, there's multiple different names for heroin. For heroin and morphine, it's pretty much the same thing.
Right.
Dilaudid and fentanyl and some of these things that are 10 to 100 times stronger than morphine. There's symptoms that you could see usually right away, from just pinpoint pupils to slurred speech to breathing problems to unconscious. You push Narcan, it blocks the receptors, and they'll start coming around to waking up violently because our high is over.
Yeah.
So we push it slow, and then we'll push it. But we push it all the time on unconscious people, and a lot of times it's an overdose. Like, oh, they whatever. They come around. But so the thing was, in different cities, I had problems with heroin overdoses or whatever. We're getting deep, but anyway.
No, it's all right.
So they had like methadone clinics and other stuff, but the thing was, well, let's give people Narcan to push to help save these people who are having overdoses. There's places in like Kentucky and Ohio that huge problems with narcotics now because of
heroin is in this country
because of
bad.
OxyContin. Because of OxyContin.
Yeah.
So
thank God weed's still illegal.
But the argument from like these fucking church groups and the hardcore Republicans is like, well, if we let people get Narcan, it's the same thing argument like with the condoms. Like, well, if we give people Narcan, that's just going to be like, well, now I could do heroin or OxyContin,
right.
and I got a safe way out. No, you're saving people. Like, so there's people that are like, listen, and they're realistic. The same thing with the sex thing. Like, people are going to have sex.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. There's no way to stop sex. You could preach abstinence. You could preach the Bible all you want. People are going to have sex. You're going to have teenage babies. Let's teach
them in the reptilian brain.
Yeah, let's teach them about condoms. Let's give them condoms. They're like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's not what Lord Jesus wants, God damn it. And then what happens? You get 15-year-old girls pregnant. Now they're on MTV on TV shows.
Yeah.
No, it's an epidemic. But people are smart. They're like, look, they're going to be fucking. People are going to fuck. There's no way you're going to stop fucking. It happens. It's going to happen. Let's be smart about it. Let's educate. Yeah. Let's give them condoms.
Even Adam and Eve fucked.
Yeah, allegedly. I'll tell you one thing, though, and this is straight up. God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
God damn it. Jesus.
That's the best worst anti-gay argument I've ever heard
of all time.
That's straight from Alabama. People believe that.
Oh yeah, first time I read that, I fucking died laughing. I'm like, that's a joke that somebody's doing and gave it like that's a comedian came up with that, gave it to a church group because he knew they would run with it. Right. Like that's how I feel. Really believe that's how ridiculous that fucking statement is.
Yeah. But the same thing with drugs. So people are like, listen, these people are and God, this goes into somewhere else, and I'm gonna go back. No, so it goes into, these people are addicts. It's more of a mental problem. They're addicts, but instead of being like, let's help them, let's put them in a treatment facility.
Let's help the people who need.
Let's help them. Like, nope, they broke the law. Let's throw them in jail. We'll spend $35,000 a year to keep them in jail, rather than spend $30,000 to help clean them up and help them get a job. Nope, they're criminals. We'll throw them in jail. Yeah. But there's groups that are like, look, these motherfuckers are going to be doing drugs. This is America. We do drugs here. We do a lot of drugs. Let's give them clean needles so they don't get HIV and hepatitis and other stuff. Let's give them Narcan so that if they overdose, they can maybe help themselves. Like, nope, that's just going to make them want to do drugs. You give somebody a clean needle, boom, they're going to be like, let's get heroin. And it's like, that's not really how that works.
It's the most ridiculous thing.
And it's almost the same thing like with the condoms. And it's like, no, it's not. You give somebody a condom, it's not like, oh, I got to go ahead. It's just a precaution. It's going to happen. And that's a little different than not everybody's going to fuck.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to do heroin. But if you give, you're not giving clean needles to everybody on the street. Right. You're only giving
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. People believe
you're giving clean needles to known drug addicts who are going to share needles, and you're giving Narcan to people who are like, nope, that's just saying we think it's okay. But yeah, it's a whole fucked up deal.
Yeah,
you know?
It's all corrupt and it's annoying. Yeah. And people talk about it all the time. You hear it all the time. We're just giving our opinion on it.
Some people can't be saved, but I don't think locking everybody up. You watch the episode of Cops.
Yeah.
Every now and then you get a robbery or a carjacking or something. Everything else is you pull some poor kid over. Oh, you got drugs on you. You're going to jail.
But then you can run down the rabbit hole that prisons they're corporate. They're for the most part they're a private corporate thing, which I think is going to be ending soon. We can go down that rabbit hole. I don't want to. I'm just saying there's fucking. It's all based around.
Yeah, and then the prison unions are banning shit like marijuana because they want business.
Yeah.
There was a good documentary I watched on Netflix. It was tough to watch. It took me a while to watch it. It's about the 13th Amendment.
Okay.
It's about slavery.
Yeah.
It's about how America is still keeping black people down, and it's pretty good. Watch it, check it out. It's fucked up.
I will. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, definitely watch it. It's about an hour and a half. It's really good. It's fucked up. It makes you think. It wasn't that long ago where black people were. Yeah, no, you can't drink out of this water fountain. Oh, you can't go.
Two generations.
It wasn't that long ago, and then now people are like, "Oh, that shit's over. We got a black president." Like, no, racism still exists, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, I don't want to get into that, but yeah. Anyway, drugs. Yeah, this is a great question. I would definitely say marijuana, even though it's going to be legal soon. Hopefully, the way I see it is marijuana will be legal soon.
Yeah.
And then once marijuana is legal soon, I think a lot of people who are going out for bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, are getting fucked up. The thing, like from my what I witness, working for a city, working for emergency services is. You could go to any, and this is any city, any small town.
Yeah,
you're gonna see young people getting fucked up, and it's okay. We've all done it.
Yeah,
but
still do it.
You see people getting fucked up. They're getting into fights. They're getting in car crashes. They're passing out. They're puking. They're
Killing
getting
people.
raped. They're raping. They're doing bad things. They're getting violent. Again, I love alcohol, but it fucks people up. Some people can't handle it. So I think, but people need. Life is fucked up. People need a way to relax, and they're like, fuck it, let's have a few drinks. Yeah. I think once marijuana is legal, you're going to have more weed bars. And I've been to weed bars in Colorado. I've been to weed bars in Amsterdam. Phenomenal. And you don't see people on the bar screaming, getting kicked out. You don't see people fighting. You don't see people peek down the bathrooms. You don't see people driving home crashing. You see people chill, people talking, having conversations. Mm-hmm. Like it's the next it's the future, you know, and people are still going to drink.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a lot of people that are like, you know what? Fuck Oxycontin. Fuck this bottle of whiskey. Let's smoke a joint, chill, we'll talk. And I think that's gonna not only, you know, help the economy, but it'll help people just unwind.
It'll help, like, manhood.
Yeah, unwind.
Like,
you got people with stressful jobs. We got friends with PTSD. You got people that are struggling for whatever reason. You know, me and you, we have problems. Not with each other, but life is hard. Instead of being like, fuck, you know, I'm gonna have a few drinks and unwind. If you could smoke a joint and just chill and go to bed, no hangover, you're not hurting your liver, your kidneys. That's the future, man. That's medicine. Yep. And the alcohol companies and the pharmaceutical companies know that. Fuck, this motherfucker's got knee pain. We're gonna charge him basic insurance company $80 for these fucking Oxycontins. If he gets a hold of that joint, we're done. Like, we're done. You know, the alcohol companies are like, fuck. We're done now.
Because our 7-figure bonus goodbye. Because
Mm-hmm.
the people from the fucking pharmaceutical company, their fucking CEOs are making like $50,000 a day.
They're
like
juicing up the prices on medicine and insurance. It's all fucked up.
Fucking ridiculous.
The way I see it is, hopefully, like I said, marijuana becomes decriminalized. It becomes better for testing. Once testing comes out, now with the internet, everybody sees like the approval rates keep going up and up. Even with older people, with younger people are so far ahead of the game with the internet. Older people now are like, you know what, that's not that bad. Right. It's not bad. So hopefully decriminalization, medical marijuana, then maybe recreational marijuana, whenever that comes. I think the medical thing from the decriminalization and medical is so big. It's so big. And then recreational, and then that'll definitely help. Marijuana, same thing with psychedelics. Psychedelics is next. I think that's far down the road. Yeah. But that's another thing. That's a plant that that gives you inner perspective on yourself.
There's some people who will argue, if you believe in evolution, that's what helps the monkeys get out of the trees. Because, you know, they'd flip over the fucking cow patties, and that's where the mushrooms grow from. They'd eat them, and they'd fucking start having those trips. Yeah. I mean, I say some people, I can't remember the names of the people, but I mean, it's not an idea to pass over if you think about it. Right. If that really helped and takes you out of body, there's something else. And people say, like, there's a couple people who they do it again. The podcast like means that I listen to say that they do mushrooms every 6 months. It helps them reset, takes them
see themselves. Like it's I don't know if you call it inner perspective. I can't think of the word for it, but it makes you look into yourself. It makes you think. It makes you have. And I don't think the government wants people. You can have the people drunk and fucking fighting each other and doing stuff like that. That's probably what the government wants.
Because they don't have to think about other stuff.
But when people are coming together, which happens when you have marijuana or probably psychedelics. And I can't speak much about psychedelics, but stuff like that makes people think. They're like, oh shit, these motherfuckers are gonna come together now. They're you know, I think they don't want that, but no, I think that's the next step. That's the future, and that's yeah, man. So that's a great question.
Yeah, so long and the short of weed for both
answer.
of us. So I knew I think once I heard that question, I'm like, it's gonna go down a rabbit hole, which is good.
That's
you know, it's phenomenal. I think it's a great conversation.
We bring this up, and I feel strongly about it. You know, and
we both do.
We both do, and yeah, and so people haven't heard that. If you're like, what, marijuana's bad, they tell you that. You as a kid, you're like, oh my god, like these people on psychedelics, they're hippies, they're crazy people, they're naked, they're in the forest. These people smoke weed, they're stupid, they're dumb. Drink alcohol like a normal person, or take these pills. Yeah. And that's all. And like people that aren't familiar, because I talk to people who aren't familiar with marijuana, and there's two kinds. There's indica and sativa. Yep. One makes you sleepy,
which is indica,
and one makes you alert and active.
Where a lot of people do it to work out. They'll go for a run. They go lift weights on that. Right. Yeah. Yep.
So, and I think most of the marijuana, like the street marijuana that you get like in a city like ours where it's not legal, is going to be the one that makes you sleepy. You know what I mean? Indica. Yep. Indica. And they have weed. You go to a weed shop in a place where it's legal, and they're like, oh, what do you want help with? You want help to focus? You want help to relax?
Do you want mind? Do you want body?
Right. Yeah. Mind, body, relax, focus. What do you want? Do you want to relax or do you want to get... I know
we can give you a hybrid.
Right. Yeah. We give you a hybrid mix. And they got drinks, they got lollipops, they got candies, they got chocolates, whatever. They got flour where you can smoke.
Dude, they have K-cups for coffee that's weed. That has weed like 10 milligrams of THC. Put it in your fucking Kruger or Krager or whatever the fuck it's called.
But they'll tell, the stereotype is all weed smokers are lazy,
Yeah.
they're unmotivated, they don't do anything. And yeah, if you get the wrong weed, they call it couch.
Yeah.
So you'll just fucking sleep.
Yeah, but those people are probably lazy and stuff anyway.
They might be lazy
know?
anyway. But yeah, I know people that smoke weed before work, during work, before workouts. Stimulates minds. Like marijuana, there's different kinds, there's different strands. Look into it, do some research on it. There's stuff that's straight up with low THC in it. That's God damn it. I'm drawing a blank on it, but it's the low THC. I can't remember the acronym for it, but it's more for your body. It's more for sleep. They got oils. They got pills for that. Mm-hmm. God, I can't believe. I guess we haven't been drinking, so I'm drawing a blank. But, CBDs.
Yeah,
There's the CBD.
I was gonna say CBD.
CBD.
It's cannabis oil.
Yeah,
cannabis oil, and they have that and they'll give. That's what they give the kids for. Who have the seizures and stuff because it's like no THC in it.
High.
They're
it's
not
just
getting
CBD.
high.
Like it's just, and then don't even get us started on hemp and plants and all of that kind of shit. So look into it and fucking start voting for people who are supporting that. I was a big Bernie Sanders guy, big time, and he got railroaded by his own party. I can't stand Hillary and I can't stand Trump. I was obviously leaning towards Hillary, and I saw something that came on the WikiLeaks that said she told the bankers like. No, I'll do whatever I can to keep marijuana illegal. And I'm like, fuck that bitch. Yeah. Like, I voted Gary Johnson. I'll tell you right now, I voted Gary Johnson. But it
was a little crazy, but still.
It was a little crazy, but I listened to 3 hours of him on the Rogan podcast. I listened to some stuff on him on YouTube. I did some research on him, and the shit he did when he was the governor in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Ahead of his time. Yeah, he sounds a little kooky. Sounds like he's drunk.
Yeah.
But he's got good ideas. he's got good ideas, and he's way better than, to my opinion, better than Clinton or Trump. So
we're in a fucking Coen.
But even if it's not that, I mean, there's a lot of votes. People are like, I'm not voting for anybody. You can still vote for a lot of different politicians for your local, for judges, for Congress. All these people that you could vote for, even if you don't vote for the presidency, but vote and make it. Put your vote in there and let people know, what you want.
Great question, Joey. For sure.
Well, I figure we spend longer on the sex question. We got deep in that. I love it though, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're passionate about it.
Absolutely.
We really do care about America. We make jokes about running for president. Like we really do care about America. We care about people. A lot of people don't, man. They just care about money.
Yeah, for sure. So for this one, we're 2 hours 44 minutes.
Damn.
It's gonna be a long one. We kind of actually already. So this is from Mook Nasty. We talked about this actually on Prison Call 3, but it just says, "What do you think of Ronda Rousey's comeback? Will she have what it takes to regain the world title?" And he says he's on the fence on it. Looking forward to hearing our opinion. So we did actually talk about it at the prison call. So just to reiterate, I don't know. I think that she's gonna come back pissed off. So I think she's gonna come back and win. She could lose for sure. Yeah. It's gonna be a huge fight for her. Yeah. But like I said, Prison Call 3, we fucking covered it more in depth. So
I agree. Yeah, Mook. Like I'm saying, you never know. For me, I thought Ronda Rousey was never going to get beat, and I think she had that same mentality. So she was training, 8-week training camps, going in, 12-second fight, next fight, 14-second fight. She finished 4 fights in under 20 seconds. At the same time, she started doing movies. She started getting famous. She was in Expendables 3. Yeah, there was an Expendables 3. So, I mean, some fucking douchebags were out there were like, 1 wasn't enough. Let's get 2, let's get 3. Yep, she was in Expendables 3. She's in other stuff. There's talks about her doing Roadhouse, which I don't know if we ever talked about on the podcast, but I got in an argument at work about it. Oh. Can we get into that real quick?
Yeah, for sure.
So, with Nancy, we're going to get back to this because I got my opinion about this. But, so, Ronda Rousey was supposed to be Patrick Swayze in the new
remake of
Roadhouse. Yeah. So, my buddy's like, this is fucking bullshit. That could never fucking happen. And this and
maybe we did talk about it because it sounds familiar. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Just we'll talk about it still.
But I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I said, yeah, absolutely, it's true, and it's actually way more realistic. So I pulled up Patrick Swayze's stats. Turns out He's not 6'7" with a 12-inch cock. He's actually like 5'9", like 165 pounds or some shit. Like, he's a feminine man, and he had a mullet. I tell you right now, Patrick Swayze in his prime, in the octagon against Ronda Rousey, he's getting his ass fucking whooped. He doesn't make it out of the first round. I guarantee it. I will put my next paycheck on it. He doesn't make it out of the first round. And Patrick Swayze in his prime against Ronda Rousey, right now, she's coming out of surgery, not before training camp, before the fight in December. Ronda Rousey is whooping Patrick Swayze's ass. I guarantee, I know kids in high school that are whooping Patrick Swayze's ass. He wasn't a big guy. Like, he was in action movies. He was like 5'9". He's a small man. He's chiseled. Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably is a vegan, maybe. I don't know. He wasn't.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with vegans, but I'm just saying he wasn't. You put Patrick Swayze in his prime in a room with me or Pags, we're fucking him up. I'll have my way with Patrick Swayze.
For sure.
He's going to do whatever I want him to do.
He's beautiful head of hair.
I'll pick him up by his ankles. I'll throw him around like a cartoon. He's getting ragdolled. Patrick Swayze is not a fucking... It's not like it's The Rock or someone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
The Rock comes in here. We're both fighting. And
he probably still wins.
He might still win. You know what I mean? I don't know. We were in the Army. He's a movie star, but yeah, he's a movie guy. We're fucking soldiers. He'd be dead. I guarantee he'd be dead within a minute. He'd be like, yeah, it's going. No, oh my god, I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. And he's not like a vein, like arteries nipped. Now blood's spurting. The Rock's going down. So I'm telling you that if The Rock's going down, Patrick Swayze's, he's not. Yeah, he's an action hero because that's what the people want you to believe. He's just a little man. And
I still like the movie.
The movie? Oh, yeah, the movie.
Okay. I'm not saying it's not a bad movie, but I agree with you. I think a lot of people, just because it's a woman and remake, she's not... I would say that he is a better actor than she is. I would say that.
Probably.
And so I think that's probably what people are pissed about. But more...
well, like the people I got in an argument with were like, oh, well, it's a woman that can never... I'm like, Ronda Rousey's a bad bitch. At 135 pounds... she probably walks around on 150. We talked about that. She would fuck most people up.
I had a friend of a friend who said that if he got in a fight with Ronda Rousey, he would beat her ass. He goes, "There's no way she would beat me."
That might be right.
No, Ronda Rousey. Yeah. There's no way. No, not this kid.
And I've talked about it before at work.
She'd beat my ass. I can tell you that right now.
I would bet. And I love you. You know. But if I had to put money on it,
I would.
You two are in the ring, I would bet.
Granted, I have her by 100 pounds.
Yeah.
But...
I have her by 100 pounds too. I would like to do it. I mean, I would love to do it. You know, it just that's all
but you'd be fighting with a boner the entire time. So
I don't know. No, you know, I mean, I think
she kicks it off.
Yeah, no. I think as soon as she fucking leg kicks you and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Or head.
No,
she's not head kicking me. She's too short.
No.
As soon as she hits you with that first leg kick.
I'd be done.
You're limping now, and then your boner's just kind of like, wait a minute, this isn't the kind of party you expected. Yeah. You're like throwing out the tea time outside.
Take off my gen meter. I'm done.
Hold up, bitch. You're like trying to tap. Like, no, it's a strike. No, I've talked about it before. That's somebody who's fought her whole life. She was in the Olympics for judo. She trains 8 hours a day on strikes, grappling. 100 pounds is 100 pounds. I think it would be a tough fight. You know, I don't know if she's ever fought a killer before. I'd fight her. I'd try to fight her to the death, but yeah, if she put me in a lock, it's either tap or your arm's breaking. Mm-hmm. But if it doesn't come to that, and then striking, she's gonna strike you, and then I'm neither of us are fucking doing 8 hours of cardio a day.
No,
if it goes past 2 minutes, it's like okay.
We get past the first 30 seconds. I would just come out. No fucking form. Yeah. She'd fucking matrix it, find her, boom, done.
In judo, they use your weight to go against you.
Yeah.
Like you try to rush her, boom, she's using your weight to throw you down. Those fucking nasty hip tosses landing on top of you. And then you're torn because she's got the boobies in your face. You're like, wait, what's going to happen here? Yeah. Oh, no, that's not. I thought you were going to. Something else.
Because your brain's going to go there first. The sweet sex position.
And now your fucking arm is getting twisted.
Next thing you know, you're waking up. Oh, not again.
And you're tapping. Yeah. Yeah, and that's us. And we're fucking killers.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze, fuck. He's getting pulled by his mullet. He's done, son. So anyway, okay. So my opinion, Ronda Rousey, one of the baddest UFC fighters of all time.
Spit it out.
One of the baddest UFC fighters of all time. And I think a lot of people, after a loss like that, they come back even stronger. I don't think she would come back unless she's ready.
Yeah.
Amanda Nunes, she's a badass bitch.
Yeah.
Badass bitch. She had some tough fights. Yeah, she beat Misha Tate, broke her nose, fucked her up.
Cupcake.
I think it's a good. Yeah, shouts out Cupcake. And them titties. But I think they're well matched. They're aggressive. They move forward.
Yeah.
I think Ronda Rousey was scary enough already after that loss, the brutal loss after the head kick by what's that ginger's name? Holly Holm. After the
Ginger? Is she blonde?
Well, she's blonde, but she's got freckles.
I was gonna say Holly Holm, but I was
she's gingerish.
all right.
The freckles.
Yeah,
Right. I got freckles too. I can say that. It's not racist. After the brutal head kick, the knockout that nobody saw coming, we talked about that on the podcast.
Yeah.
I was like 1,200. You bet 100 we could have won 1,200, and we talked about it. Didn't do it. She comes, and after all the memes and all this other stuff, I think she's going to come back better than ever. I think. And I also thought, like I told you before, Pagnasty, I think the fight should be Ronda Rousey rematch with Holly Holm, and then Misha Tate rematch with Amanda Nunes. The winners of both of those fights fight for the belt, because all three of them had the belt. I'm sorry, 4 of them had the belt.
Yeah, all 4.
Because it went from Ronda to Holm
To Tate
to Nunes.
Yep.
But Ronda Rousey's a big name, just like Conor, and just like some of these other people that they get what they want. I think I would put all my money on Ronda Rousey. Yeah, I had to wait to see when it's closer, see what it looked like at the weigh-in.
Well, don't worry, we'll definitely get.
We're going to get back into it.
Sure.
It's the end of December. We got some time before then, but yeah, put your money on Ronda Rousey all day.
Nice.
Son. And there's a lot of fights. UFC 205, November 12th is huge. The 207, I believe, the Ronda Rousey fight is, and that's in like the end of December.
Is that the one
huge.
that's in New York? Or no, that's 205.
205 is the biggest fight card I've ever seen.
Yep, that's what
November 12th.
everybody's saying, because it's like champions.
Jesus
If Conor
Christ.
McGregor wins, he could be.
He could hold 2 belts.
He could hold
He's
2
got to
belts.
beat Eddie Alvarez, who's a fucking savage. I got my money on Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah?
But all day. But I also have my money on Diaz all day. And, I don't know.
Yeah, it's the biggest card, because if anybody doesn't know, and you can have kickboxing, you can have boxing. New York had everything, but they had a ban on MMA for reasons that unions. I just heard Rogan was telling Bill Burks, he was on his podcast today, but they finally one guy got arrested for whatever, and so as soon as he was out, they fucking got it passed through. And,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got arrested for like some major shit. As soon as he got out, they fucking finally passed it. So it's gonna be Madison Square Garden. It's gonna be fucking
That's
huge.
gonna be huge, man.
And yeah, so it's the biggest fight card UFC has ever seen.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, as it gets closer, we'll break it down. We'll print it out, and we'll talk about all the fights on there. It's every fight, the main event, the main card, the prelims, the undercard, all of them, all solid fight like crazy. The best fight card I've ever seen in my whole life. That'll be awesome. But no, great question. We'll keep moving.
Yeah. Rolling up on 3 hours here.
All right. Another question from Joey. Shouts out Joey.
Yeah, thanks for sending them in, man.
All right. If you had the choice between $250,000 or going on a murder rampage, which would you choose? Duration of 1 week. Rampage could be against zombies, child molesters, other murderers, or whatever demographic you despise. Asterisk, I would choose an all-clown rampage. Fuck clowns.
That's
Joey.
smart. He put in his answer. Appreciate that.
He did. I don't know if we were supposed to read that or not.
Oh, yeah, why not? So the question is, if you got one or two choices, $250,000 or murderous rampage for a week against whoever you want, and I'm guessing you don't get in trouble for it.
For 1 week. Yeah, I'm guessing, yeah, you don't get in trouble for it. It would be against zombies, child molesters, other murderers, or whatever demographic you despise. I don't know if that's just suggestions or not, because I would think
my guess is just suggestions. Like
Okay.
this is an example.
Because I think the enemies of America or against the world aren't necessarily zombies or even other murderers.
Yeah, it could be anybody. Whatever you want to say.
I mean, you want to get real, like if
Yeah.
What about some of these fucking politicians and
Right.
lawmakers and
I don't know.
The top. My thing is. Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just gonna say, I don't know, man. Like $250,000, it would get my wife and I completely out of debt with a decent amount left over, quite a bit left over.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about paying our house off and all of our student loans and everything we have, like money left over to do some shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome. If I were to go on a rampage, it would have to be against like zombies because I don't think I can even like take child molesters. Yes, it's fucked up what they do and stuff like that, but I don't think I could live with killing that many people no matter what they did. You know what I mean? Like unless like 250 people killed my entire family at once. You know what I mean? Something like that. But like just if we're gonna go that way, it would be fun. You know, but to like live with that, I don't know if I could. Where $250,000 I could take a really, really good vacation and pay off all my debt. That would be fucking bomb.
Yeah.
So I think honestly I would probably lean towards the 250K.
Yeah, I absolutely I take the money hands down, no questions. I make that decision really quickly.
Yeah.
When it comes to killing people, I think murders. Yeah. I think I could.
Yeah.
I think I could kill a lot of people.
Yeah, I think you could too.
And I think I
still wake up for bacon in the morning.
No, and I think I still sleep like a baby. You know what I mean? But that's just me. Not everybody's like that, for good reason probably. And I got my own demons that help that make me not be able to sleep sometimes. But killing murderers and child molesters wouldn't be one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I would kill child molesters. I would take it a step further. I would say I would take the money. Absolutely, that's my answer.
Yeah.
But going further on the question, I would think if you're talking about like a purge type situation.
Yeah.
I would say.
Which is a kind of a cool concept for a movie.
Absolutely. I watched the Purge, the third one. I think it's Purge Election Year a while back, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I would say like we've talked about this before, me and some of my friends, and we're like, if you take the top 10%, the top 10%, and the bottom 10%. Eliminate them right off the bat.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
It is.
There's a lot of fucking people in the world. 1 billion people in China, 1 billion people in India. Just in America, though, the top 1%, they gotta go. The bottom 10%, fucked up, but they gotta go. And then like there's murders and shit out there. There's a court case going on with it just ended in my city. So. Yeah, it just ended. He got guilty. So it was this guy. I don't want to get too deep into it. I don't want to give up too much stuff. But he killed 4 people.
Okay.
In my city.
I don't think I know this.
Okay, so he killed 4 people. He killed 2. A couple years later, killed 2 more. And then it wasn't until after the second 2
that he got caught.
They got FBI, the local police, state police. They tied the 2 separate murder sprees together, and then they found this guy, tracked him down. He went to trial. I was a first responder on the scene of the first murders.
Oh shit!
So, and I was a young fireman.
Yeah.
Just on for a few years. We walked in on a scene where it was a child murdered.
Yeah.
And
that I knew. I didn't know it was a part of this.
And a woman murdered. And then after that, you're kind of just like, ugh, hopefully, so I watch the news.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is going to be solved. This is a big deal. No, nothing for years. And then finally, they found this guy. He went to trial. Trial took a couple weeks. He just was guilty the other day. And I'm just like, fuck, I was following it. Because
I bet. Yeah, you saw the...
I saw both victims.
Yeah, it's
murdered,
horrible.
bleed, dead.
Yeah.
Touched them, So for me, it was personal, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So I followed it along in the paper. I followed it along on the TV, and the news. They're just like, ugh. They threw out DNA evidence. They threw out some evidence on his iPad, and some of the shit was like, he searched one of the victims' addresses 45 minutes before the supposed killing.
Jesus.
And it's like, yeah, it's
pretty good. So obviously he pleaded not guilty.
Not guilty. And
what was their defense? Do you know? Like what were they saying? Like there's no way it's him.
They had to place him in the city, and they had to place DNA evidence. And from what I was following, they didn't have You don't know. You're not in there, but they threw out some DNA evidence. They were saying some of the evidence that they got from the computer and the iPad and all that stuff was suspect, and it wasn't clean, and they didn't use different hard drives. So I'm like, please don't let this dude murdered 4, maybe 5 people. One of them including a kid. 2 of the people that I witnessed them deceased. So I'm like, this was years ago. This is many years ago. So I'm following the case. So like somebody like that, I'm like, what? Paying attention to this case. It's going on for weeks, and it's just the paper and the news. So they're not obviously talking about 8 hours a day what's going on, but you just kind of get this is kind of what happened at court today. Anyway, somebody like that, I can murder, and I would sleep just fine at night. Child molesters, I could murder. It sounds bad. Maybe we should turn the subject. I don't want to murder anybody, but I'm just saying.
You would take the money.
I would take the
money
all day.
You could justify it. Nothing's wrong with
saying,
that.
some people have it coming.
Yeah.
Some people have it coming.
All right. Last question. We'll probably wrap this bitch up. We just crossed about 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, across the 3-hour mark, which is awesome. There's people who kept giving us shit for the short prison calls. Yeah. This one's for you, bitches. So this one's from Long. So you're gonna hear from Long right before you hear from Long. Hopefully, son of a bitch. It says, when Pags and Spicy are sucking each other's dicks, do you ever get cum in your eyes? If so, does it burn? And do you like it?
All right, so read that.
Okay, so when Pags and Spicy are sucking each other's dicks,
that doesn't seem like a question for us. Like, why wouldn't they say when you? If it was for us, they'd be like, if yous guys, when yous guys. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah, he's just putting a thought out there to our tens of 20s of listeners. Are sucking each other's dicks. Do you ever get cum in your eyes? If so, does it burn? And do you like it? I think I think he's trying not to make fun of us more than he just wants to research for himself. I think he has something to compare to personally.
He's definitely had cum in his eyes. And I'm not saying he doesn't want to suck our dicks.
Yeah.
But if he does, just ask.
Definitely
like, just come out. We're in a safe place. Next time we're on the podcast, just be like, let me suck you guys' dicks. Let me suck you guys' dicks off real quick.
Just walking in a room, jacking dicks left and right.
We got a table. We just go under the table.
Yeah, I'll probably break that too.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. You dirtbag son of a bitch.
All right, man. Well, hey, Joey, Mook, Nasty, and Long, thanks for sending in the questions.
Yeah, much love. Much appreciated.
As always, Joey, you're still coming with the heat. Mookie, you foreshadowed for us because we've had that question for a while.
Yeah.
I've just seen it.
Oh, yeah, that's
seen
true.
That it was from him and then the subject line. So,
absolutely.
But yeah, we had talked about it, so that's fucking awesome, man. We appreciate it, seriously. Before we get out of here, definitely... all social media, Nasty and Friends, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Follow us if you want. Share, please. Guys, we haven't talked to Troy. I don't know when the store is going to close. It could be any day now. So if you can put an order in, put it in. This is going to drop here in the next couple hours. So it'll be early, probably just after midnight. Early Saturday morning. If it's still there, order a shirt. We don't know when it's going to close. We have to call them. So shouts out to Troy and Trevor.
Absolutely.
Surprised I remember the names.
No, that's good, dude. I fucking up too. I always get Troy, but yeah.
So shouts out to them for helping us out and continuing. Like I said, we can always probably go there. They'll have the print, the layout again. So keep sending in questions. Hopefully we're out of questions. So again, this is gonna be a big weekend. We're gonna have some shit. Send us your pictures from Halloween this weekend if you guys are dressing up.
Yeah.
Let us know if you have any questions. Again, the show, ladies and gentlemen, it's a cooking show, it's a sex show, and it's a drug show. So before we do jump out of here, any shouts outs or fuck yous?
I got a couple of both, man.
Yeah.
So I just want to give a quick shout out to my main man Carter S. I want to give a shout out to my man Hines in Ohio. I know you're looking for the Cleveland Indians to win. Our buddies Brandon and Bobby. I want to give a big shouts out to Don and Millie.
That was on my list too.
Great.
That was on my list again.
Don and Millie, both of you.
Yeah.
And my only fuck you right now is to Carl.
Okay.
Yeah. Die already.
Absolutely. I had some shout outs. I was gonna say Donna Mills, but you covered that, which is fucking awesome. Shout out to Ronda Rousey. She took a lot of fucking heat. She's coming back.
God damn.
It's gonna be fucking awesome. Go ahead.
Everybody in America, we love a comeback.
Yeah.
You know, we brought this up before. Britney Spears.
Yeah.
She went to fucking A-list, the top of her game, to walking barefoot in public bathrooms, to being like a trailer park type chick. And then now she's back. She looks gorgeous.
Brittany's back,
Brittany's
bitch.
back, bitch. No, but everybody loves a good comeback. Ronda Rousey got fucking knocked out. The worst moment of her life, indeed.
In front of millions.
In front of millions. Memes, everything's coming out. That's got to be tough for anybody, especially for somebody who thought they could never lose. Yeah, big shouts out Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Even if you don't win, you're coming back. Fuck, that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Get some.
Shouts out to anybody in the military, past, future, present. Thanks. It's fucking awesome.
1%.
Yeah, we love you. Love you fucks. Just one big glaring fuck you. You know it's coming. Spencer, man, fuck you, dog. You did us dirty.
You dirty motherfucker.
You did us dirty. We expect better out of you. You know, we have a group of people. You're probably one of our biggest fans. You're held to a higher standard. Mm-hmm. Spencer, you failed this city.
I mean, I expect that kind of shit out of Joey. You know what I mean? Or Danny Molina. Like, I expected a lot more out of Spencer.
Right. So that's all I got, dog. It's fucking last shout out I got to you, man. It's fucking great being back at the BDC. For sure, it's fucking awesome. We just passed fucking 3 hours and 8 minutes.
Amazing, man.
Feels good.
Amazing.
It fucking felt like it was an hour, dude.
God damn it.
I felt like we should be out of the escape room by now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's fucking awesome. It's back. We got fucking minimum of 3 more podcasts we're going to fucking knock out this weekend. Food's on point. Drinks on point. Drugs on point. You know, company. That's going to be awesome. So, again, Nasty and Friends, everything. Send in questions. Any final words?
No, sir.
All right. Remember, guys, life is simple. Don't be a dick. Night sluts.
Hello, Rob Long here with your weekly animal update. The squirrel. Squirrels are a member of the family Sciuridae, a family that includes small or medium-sized rodents. The squirrel family includes tree squirrels, ground squirrels, chipmunks, marmots, flying squirrels, and prairie dogs, amongst other rodents. Squirrels are indigenous to the Americas, Eurasia, and Africa, and were introduced by humans to Australia. The earliest known squirrels date from the Eocene period and are most closely related to the mountain beaver and to the dormouse, amongst other living rodent families. Squirrels breed once or twice a year and give birth to a variety of number of young, after 3 to 6 weeks, depending on the species. The young are born naked, toothless, and blind. In most species of squirrel, only the female looks after the young, which are weaned at around 6 to 10 weeks of age and become sexually mature at the end of their first year. In general, ground-dwelling species are social animals, often living in well-developed colonies, but the tree-dwelling species are more solitary. Signing it off for Pagnasty and Brown, fuck.